Eat fresh, refresh. From the top, please. Freshly prepared for your order. Limited time at participating shops. Terms, taxes, and other fees still apply. Cut!
At TELUS, we know a thing or two about goats. It's what makes us the best network to get the new iPhone 14 Pro, which of course is the greatest iPhone of all time.
Yes, you get it.
That and how we're also the most giving network. So now that it's here, visit us online at TELUS.com to order the greatest iPhone of all time for $0 upfront with TELUS Easy Payment. TELUS, let's make the future friendly. Conditions apply, plus taxes.
At Sell-Off Vacations, we know about staying covered on vacation. You know, big hats, sunscreen, sunglasses. The right coverage can also help protect your vacation. Seriously, you don't want to go through what happened to me in '06. Book your winter vacation now to get complimentary protection that will cover you better than a hat ever could. Insurance is underwritten by manufacturer's life insurance company Manulife. Terms and conditions apply. In store with 6 locations, the GTA, online, or just give us a call.
selloffvacations.com.
Thursdays on City TV.
This isn't about politics. It's about playing the hand you have.
Law and Order.
You need to get this conviction.
SVU.
This was a coordinated attack.
Organized crime.
Arms, drugs, sex trafficking.
3 shows.
I'd like to combine forces.
1 night.
Looks like we're going for a ride.
Law and Order Thursday. All new 8/7 Central on City TV. Or stream on City TV Plus, the app, or citytv.com.
CJCL Toronto. This
it's carrying well, and it is gone.
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball to finish the ball game
on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From Rogers Center in downtown Toronto, the Blue Jays are back home, owning the top spot in the American League wild card and playing host to the division-leading New York Yankees. Once again, it's a pleasure to bring you the broadcast booth. I'm Ben Wagner. Next to Art Swelling, Show Ali's back at baseball control. And at the controls tonight, behind the scenes, helping bring you the broadcast, Austin Mackey and Tom Young. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Feed your wild side, baseball fans. There is a ton of energy at the ballpark tonight. Toronto returns off the road, whittling down their magic number to 4 for a postseason berth. The New York Yankees can clinch the division with a win tonight, and the biggest story in sports is at center stage. Aaron Judge sits 1 away from the American League single-season home run record. His first at-bat is officially 7 minutes from now. Yankees and Blue Jays in a massive 3-game series. It begins next over the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in full swing. Why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of MLB? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 milliliters. Must be legal drinking age. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Make your next career move with 2 Men in a Truck. The company is hiring motivated and enthusiastic team members for mover, driver, and customer service positions. And if you're looking for more, professional advancement is always a possibility. In fact, 75% of 2 Men in a Truck managers started in frontline positions. Now is the time to apply. Visit 2meninatruck.ca and click careers.
2 Men and a Truck, the movers who care.
Every all-star, every slugger, every gold glover, speedster, or ace needs the right fuel to perform. Just like every bird needs the right feed to sing at their best. I'm Ben Wagner, and if you want to enjoy nature at its finest, Armstrong Bird Food has the perfect blend of seeds, suets, and treats to attract a wide variety of birds to your backyard. Now that's a performance to cheer about. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com for your nearest retailer. Armstrong Bird Food, feeding Blue Jays and other feathered friends since 1986.
Baseball is in full swing. Why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of MLB? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 milliliters. Must be legal drinking age. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
If dog people made dog food, it definitely wouldn't look like dusty, burnt brown pebbles. Ugh. It would actually be food. It would be made with real, fresh meat and veggies, gently cooked to preserve their nutritional value. You know, like food. The Farmer's Dog was created by dog people who cook and deliver fresh, healthy food. Try the Farmer's Dog and get fresh, pre-portioned meals tailored to your dog's needs. Tell us about your dog, build your plan, and get 50% off at thefarmersdog.com/radio. That's thefarmersdog.com/radio.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
For game one of this 3-game series in downtown Toronto. Rogers Center certainly has a buzz about it. It is late September. The Blue Jays are in position to perhaps clinch a berth into the postseason during this homestand. The New York Yankees, it's down to simple mathematics to claim the lead of the division, clinch a postseason berth as the owner of the American League Eastern Division, without a doubt, the toughest division in Major League Baseball. And there's a major milestone within the game in the crosshairs for Aaron Judge. Roger Maris hit 61 home runs in a single season in 1961. Aaron Judge is the biggest story in baseball, and perhaps, Arden Zwelling, the biggest story tonight in sport as he takes the field and will lead off in just mere moments.
And, Ben, we were watching him take batting practice before the game. Not something that he always does. Took on field BP today, somewhat rare for him, and the guy couldn't go 5 steps without a half dozen camera operators and still photographers, social media folks with their phones out. He's trying to sign balls for kids that are watching batting practice, and the guy can't turn around without cameras in his face. It really does have that feel. It really is one of those sort of momentous nights. It would be something else to see Aaron Judge do it here at Rogers Center. I'm looking out at those left field, outfield seats, and not many spare ones to go around. That's going to be a popular place throughout these 3 days at Rogers Center.
This is the rest of the storyline. New York Yankees are very good. They've won 7 in a row, 94-58. They are playing some of their best baseball since their historic start through April and May, now winning 15 out of the last 19. For the Toronto Blue Jays, they feel pretty good about the road trip. Yeah, it was a split in Philadelphia, a heartbreaker last Wednesday night. They come back after dropping the first 2 against the Tampa Bay Rays, and they defeat the top 2 arms in that Tampa Bay rotation. More importantly than a 2-2, I think the Blue Jays are happy that the fact that they separated a little distance in the lead of that wild card spot.
If there's such a thing as a big series split, that was a big series split. Ben, not letting Tampa Bay get any closer to the Blue Jays in the wild card race. The Blue Jays, through those 4 games, kept Tampa Bay in the exact same spot they were when that series began. Blue Jays also benefiting from the Seattle Mariners skidding a little bit right now. Blue Jays in the driver's seat. They control their fate towards getting home field advantage in the wild card round.
Kevin Gausman is at the wheel tonight for Toronto. Let's get to the starting lineups, brought to you by Timber Mart, who encourages you to step up for shopping local. Timber Mart stores are family-owned and operated, and they know the value of giving back to the communities they serve. Now more than ever, it's important to shop local. Leading off for the visiting Yankees, Aaron Judge, 60 home runs, tied with Babe Ruth, 1 away from Roger Maris. He's in right field. Anthony Rizzo's the first baseman. Gleyber Torres, little by little this season, moving up in the order, now a power threat with 24 home runs. He's the second baseman. Josh Donaldson will bat cleanup at third base. Giancarlo Stanton follows, hitting 5th, DHing tonight. Oswaldo Cabrera, the rookie sensation, is in left field. Harrison Bader's in center, batting 7th. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will bat 8th and play it short. Jose Trevino will do the catching for the New York Yankees. For the Blue Jays, the center fielder is George Springer. Bo Bichette, the shortstop. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing at first base, batting 3rd. Alejandro Kirk gets the cleanup spot. He'll DH. Matt Chapman, the third baseman, follows with Teoscar Hernandez swinging sixth in right field. The left fielder is Raimel Tapia batting seventh. Hitting eighth and doing the catching tonight, Danny Jansen. Whit Merrifield, the second baseman, and right now one of the hottest pieces of lumber that the Blue Jays have, will round out the order and bat ninth. Luis Severino will have the ball for the New York Yankees. And now get your cameras ready. Bulbs are going to pop, all eyes in the world of sport on Aaron Judge as he scrapes up the right-handed batter's box, and mixed reaction as Aaron Judge comes to home plate. Already Blue Jay fans in the background, kind of cascading him with their opinion of the milestone, but also plenty of cheers and a moment of history that is on the horizon for one of the game's biggest sluggers, Aaron Judge. He leads it off against Kevin Gausman here in downtown Toronto. A postseason berth for both of these teams is imminent. It's a big week as we get it started with game 1 of 3. Judge will take a fastball inside and low for ball 1 from Kevin Gausman. Not only is the home run total mighty for Aaron Judge, so is the entire season. The power, the RBI opportunity, and the average. Not only a home run crown, perhaps, but also a triple crown. The 1-0. Over for a called strike just below the knees, and it's 1-1. A moment that is made for the game. It is one of the great storylines running wire to wire across Major League Baseball. Judge stares out, Gausman deals. And the pitch, a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Roger Maris family was in New York this past week watching Aaron Judge in his march towards the record held by Roger Maris. Roger Maris Jr. was there, his other son Kevin alongside. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive into right field, a base hit. A leadoff single taken the opposite way. And albeit deflating for everybody that had tickets wanting to see a home run ball, you're seeing one of the game's great performers right now. It's deflating when you watch a laser go off the bat into the gap or drop into right field for a leadoff single.
Yeah, and for Aaron Judge, that's going to extend his on-base streak to 25 games, and he's reached base multiple times in 20 of those 25 games, so he'll have a few more opportunities tonight to make it 21. Laz Diaz right now having to exchange the balls that were being used for that Aaron Judge plate appearance. Unique balls, each with serial numbers and unique identifiers used when Aaron Judge is at the plate right now, because obviously might be a pretty big ball that comes off of his bat at some point soon.
A hefty ransom to be paid along the way. Anthony Rizzo, the second batter of the ballgame, swings and fouls it back under our feet. That is strike 1 on Rizzo. A 223 average, big home run total for him as well. 32 long ones for the 4th time in his career, matching his career high with 32. Hit 30 or more home runs in 4 consecutive seasons. The first time he's gotten over that 30 mark since 2017. Just underway in downtown Toronto. Runner at first, nobody out. The 0-1 by Gausman is a fastball at the knees, a called strike, and it's 0-2. We're underway 9 minutes after 7 o'clock here at Rogers Center. Indoors, very cozy because of some inclement weather around the GTA. Buttoned up at 68 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. Outside, it certainly feels like playoff weather. 14 Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit with rain outside. Kevin Gausman has had a very good season for the Toronto Blue Jays. If it were to line up a wild card berth with the Blue Jays hosting all 3 games, secure of home field advantage for that first round, Alek Manoah, Kevin Gausman, Ross Stripling, your trio. The 0-2, fouled off to the left. No balls and 2 strikes. And that's really something that's morphed over the course of the year. I don't think anybody would have expected Alek Manoah to be the number 1 target for a postseason opener of the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe number 2 with Kevin Gausman. You would factor in Jose Barrios somewhere into that conversation, certainly. Yusei Kikuchi, and then maybe not even Ross Stripling, part of that first round. But here he is. Had a tremendous run through June, July, August, and right now throwing the best in September. A move towards first to chase back Judge and his 16 stolen bases.
Well, you think about who started the Blue Jays' opening 3 games of the season against the Texas Rangers this year. Jose Barrios, Kevin Gausman, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Remember him? That's how the Blue Jays felt their rotation was best lined up coming out of spring.
No Hyun-Jin Ryu. He's been lost with Tommy John surgery. Yusei Kikuchi now in very small sample sizes out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Seen the emergence of Mitch White since being acquired from the Kansas City Los Angeles Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers parting ways with Mitch White. He is now going to not only work in the rotation, he's going to pitch in this series for Toronto. First of 3 opening up with Kevin Gausman, then Jose Barrios. Had a 2-inning clunker against the Tampa Bay Rays this past week. And then Mitch White gets the finale on Wednesday night. The 1-2 pitch. Rizzo takes in the dirt. Ball lost in the 5-hole, but Judge didn't realize Danny Jansen couldn't find it, so no advance from first.
Yeah, a lot can change in 6 months. Hyun-Jin Ryu, obviously on the IL with Tommy John surgery. Yusei Kikuchi, part of that rotation to start the season. Unlikely to even be on a postseason roster at this point, if we're being frank. So Alek Manoah was off the map when you thought about who might be starting the opener of a postseason series for the Blue Jays, but right now, that's what he's positioned to do.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Rizzo, the left-handed batter, looks out, now asks for time just before Gausman comes set. Yeah, you talk about that opening series against the Texas Rangers. The Blue Jays had Alek Manoah lined up to face who? The New York Yankees on the very first road trip. And now you're kind of hiding Alek Manoah over the final couple of months so the Yankees don't get comfortable against the big right-hander. Runner at first, nobody out. Infield back. The pitch by Gausman. Bounce down past Guerrero into right field, tight near the line. Long run for Hernandez to dig it out of the corner. Judge will advance to third. Rizzo tiptoes his way into second with a double. The Yankees are threatening here to begin the ball game.
That was an interesting battle between Rizzo and Gausman. Rizzo was really taking his time. That's why we had so much space to go deep on the Blue Jays rotation there, because Rizzo kept stepping out of the box, taking practice swings, talking to Laz Diaz. Was that a strike? Where was that pitch? Ball in the dirt. Let me step out. Let me play with my gloves a little bit. I thought Rizzo just really slowed down the pace to where he wanted it to be in that plate appearance against Gausman, and then eventually got a pitch that he liked, sent it up the right field line, and now Kevin Gausman's got 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out.
And a pickle here against Gleyber Torres. The pitch to the right-hand batter in the air out the right field. Put deep enough to get Judge home. In front of the warning track, Hernandez makes the catch, comes up throwing towards third. Rizzo's trying to tag it advance, and he will. The ball slightly up the third base line away from Matt Chapman. A sacrifice fly on the first pitch to Gleyber Torres. And the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
And the right decision there by Teoscar Hernandez. There's no shot of getting Aaron Judge at home. So he tries to get Rizzo at third base, but the throw is offline. Rizzo slides into third. And, you know, it's funny. We talk about how much is going on in the series between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. We haven't even mentioned Josh Donaldson.
My, how times have changed. Here is Josh Donaldson. The last time that he was getting curtain calls, he was wearing a Toronto Blue Jays uniform when they were pushing towards the postseason. 2015, the AL MVP. Now a New York Yankee with a couple of stops along the way. 1 down, runner at third. Infield in against JD. First pitch, down and in for ball 1. Donaldson batting .228 on the year. 15 home runs and 59 driven in. 125th game for Donaldson. Outfield lineup straight up. The 1-0. A fastball at the knees, a called strike, and it's 1-1. We're in the first inning, being brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com for more. 1-0 New York. 1 down, Rizzo stands third. Infield stays tight, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
And this is not the Josh Donaldson who was an MVP with the Blue Jays, but he's still a dangerous hitter, still takes some very big cuts like the one he just had at a Gausman splitter. And Donaldson can do some damage in the parts of the zone where Gausman likes to work. Think about it. Inside to righties, down in the zone. Josh Donaldson is happy to hook those pitches that are on the plate into the left field seats.
1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes with the splitter evening the count on Donaldson. A dozen wins, a .332 earned run average for the Blue Jay right-hander. Osmond stares in, peeks over at third quickly. Now walks in on the target from Danny Jansen. The 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball, not deep. Loping in, Raimel Tapia charges forward underneath it, makes the catch. Rizzo gets a stop sign as he bluffs away from third. 2 out.
Good result there for Gausman, who gets a weak fly ball, not deeply hit to left field. Raimel Tapia is able to camp under it, and Rizzo just has no shot of scoring. If Gausman gets out of this situation with only one run in, feel good about the job done. There were runners on second and third with none out.
Started with a leadoff base hit for Aaron Judge, a Rizzo double. Gleyber Torres with a first pitch sacrifice fly, 1-0 New York. And after consecutive flyouts, here's Giancarlo Stanton. Deep in the right-handed batter's box. Gausman comes home. And the fastball cruises over for a called strike 1.
The Yankees are trying to get out to a hot start. They're clearly locked in here. They know they are 1 win away here at the Rogers Center from clinching the American League East. Their magic number is 2. The team behind them is Toronto Blue Jays. So 1 Yankees win, 1 Blue Jays loss, and the Yankees are your AL East champions.
The 0-1, swing and a miss. Took a hefty cut at the slider, then tried to hold back. Looked awkward on the finish. And it's 0-2. Blue Jays' magic number in wild card consideration is 4. They're looking at the Baltimore Orioles. Blue Jays start 2.5 up. 2 over the Tampa Bay Rays. Then the Mariners, 4 back in the trio of teams, Baltimore. The 0-2, low and away. The standings update is presented by Bet365, the world's favorite sports book.
So that's any combination of 4 Blue Jays wins or Baltimore Orioles losses this week. So 2 Blue Jays wins, 2 Orioles losses, 1 Blue Jays win, 3 Orioles losses, any combination of 4, and the Blue Jays have guaranteed themselves a wild card berth.
And that number might change tonight because there's only 4 games in the big leagues. The Orioles are 1. 1-2, swing and a miss. Stanton is down on strikes. Gausman rebounds, hits a couple of fly balls and a strikeout to limit the damage and leave a Yankee at third base. 1-0 New York after our first half. The Blue Jays to the dish right after this. It's Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men and a truck.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's Bench Jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The ball for New York leading 1-0 as the Blue Jays get to the plate for the first time tonight. Into the windup and Severino's first pitch. A fastball at 96 miles an hour taken across the knees for strike one on George Springer. Springer, a red-hot road trip for Toronto. The 0-1. Bounce on the ground towards third. Over the line, foul. No balls and 2 strikes on George. Second time this season, a multiple homer game. Happened yesterday at Tropicana Field in the Blue Jays victory. 20th multiple homer game in his career. The 0-2. Severino has the fastball low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's the pitch that Luis Severino featured and was dominant with his last time out. First outing off of the injured list. Talking with Aaron Boone today, he raved about it. The 1-2, swing and a miss. And if you go with the fastball, then all of a sudden you get the slider, and that's the wipeout pitch from Luis Severino.
That's when Severino's at his best, when he's commanding those 2 weapons, particularly to the right-handed hitters in this Blue Jays lineup. No shortage of those. The first 6 hitters Blue Jays lineup are going to be hitting right-handed, so they're going to have to be ready for that heater, ready for that fastball you were talking about, but also they're going to have to be patient and disciplined on the slider.
Here's the hits leader in the American League, Bo Bichette. Takes from Severino, fastball on the outside corner, strike one. Nobody in the junior circuit has more hits right now than Bo Bichette, and that is the byproduct of an unbelievable month of September. The 0-1. Check swing. Fastball just off the corner on the strike box. Called a strike on Bo and put him in the hole 0-2. How great has this September been for Bo Bichette? He leads baseball in hits, extra base hits, and in RBIs. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled back. Stays 0-2 on Bichette. 41 hits in the month of September, a .402 batting average. He's hit 7 home runs. Now 24 on the year. And 91 RBIs. Severino rocks into the line. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball right back to the bump. Snared by Severino. Nice heady play by Severino to retire Bichette. On the follow-through, he just whipped the arm into the air, and he caught the comebacker.
It's a changeup down in the zone, and Bo bounces it right in front of the plate. Severino's pretty good metal on the mound there with that 100-mile-per-hour comebacker. Calmly gloves it, flips it on to first. Now he gets Vladdy.
This is a change from the last time that the Blue Jays were at Rogers Center. Bo Bichette batting number 2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. back batting number 3. There was a flip shortly after the managerial change where Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for a long time batted number 2. Vladdy takes a fastball called inside. That's ball 1 in favor of the Blue Jay first baseman.
I think Vlad would tell you that he is most comfortable hitting third in the order.
The 1-0. Out of play to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I think John Schneider would tell you, well, I want my best hitter hitting second in my order. And who's been the Blue Jays' best hitter for the last month? Bo Bichette.
The guy that was just at the plate, Bo Bichette, which is something to be said because in the matter of 4 weeks, he went from 7th to 2nd. The 1-1. Guerrero pops it up. Over the first base line, Rizzo charges in, calls away Trevino, makes the catch halfway up the line. Vladdy's retired. The Blue Jays are down 1-2-3. 1 inning in the book. New York 1, Toronto nothing. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good. Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta. And now for his thoughts on the game, we go live to Blue Jays mascot Ace. Thanks, Ace. Toronto Blue Jays baseball continues on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
End of the second inning being brought to you by Miller Lite. Baseball's in full swing, so why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 milliliters. Must be legal drinking age. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Co-host of At the Letters podcast, Arden Swelling. I'm Ben Wagner. Blue Jays, Yankees, inning number 2. New York in front 1-0. Oswaldo Cabrera, the switch hitting outfield tonight, will take a first pitch over the outside corner called strike 1. Cabrera has found the lumber over the last week or so. 4 home runs now. Still just getting started in his major league career. Tonight is his 35th overall game. The 0-1. Down and in with the splitter missing, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera.
The Yankees are using him all over. He'll play a little shortstop, a little third base. He'll play both corner outfield spots. He's been at first base recently. He's been a really useful tool for Aaron Boone.
1-1 pitch, check swing. Did he lay off the split? He did not. The third base umpire with the clenched fist puts Cabrera in the hole. Laz Diaz has the plate tonight. Trip Gibson up the third base line. Ryan Honora is in the middle of the diamond with Ryan Wills, the first base umpire. The 1-2. Off the cup into the bat. 2-hopper down to Chapman, who charges forward. Whips the throw to first in time. Cabrera retired. And there's 1 down. Oswaldo Cabrera has certainly been that. In fact, he made his major league debut when the Blue Jays were in New York. In that 4-game series, he played 3 different spots and looked really good at the shortstop position and made a home run saving catch in deep right field.
Yeah, the Yankees are known for spending big in free agency, for going out and getting a Garrett Cole and the Giancarlo Stanton in trade and signing those guys. But they've got some pretty good homegrown developed talent themselves. Aaron Judge, Oswaldo Cabrera among them.
Harrison Bader, new to the organization, takes a fastball over the knees for a called strike 1. Former Cardinal, now New York Yankee. 5 for 17 at the plate. A double and 6 driven in. 0-1. Tied him up with a high fastball. Did he go around? As Diaz says, yes, he did. And it's 0-2.
Luis Severino starting for the Yankees, also a homegrown product. It's really the combination of things that makes this team so good, that brings them to the postseason year after year. It's spending and drafting and developing.
Liner off to the right, stays 0-2 on Bader. And the fact that they identify the right 6-year free agents that might be plug and play only for a small sample of time, get the New York Yankees to the trade deadline. They've got a pool of prospects in the lower levels. They've done a really good job in the international market. They have got pieces to swap so you can acquire whatever the need is down the stretch. And the New York Yankees have had some needs down the stretch, especially out of the bullpen with so many injuries. The 0-2 to Bader. Swing and a miss. Crosby gets him with a splitter. And there are 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah, and they got more coming. You look at guys like Anthony Volpe, the shortstop. He's got a bunch of prospect buzz around him. Davey Garcia isn't up with the Yankees yet, but he's a guy who's pretty highly touted. They really do have a strong system to go along with the big payroll and all the resources they pour into research and development and the analytics and the massive coaching staff on the bench. They really are tooled up, this Yankees organization.
Here's the right-handed hitting Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. New York leads 1-0. 2 outs here in the second. Nobody aboard. Osmond misses low, ball 1. Yankee shortstop hitting .265, 20 doubles, 3 home runs, 47 driven in. (1-0). Lined off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Blue Jay fans will think back, well, he's a Texas Ranger, and that, of course, is the case. But no longer that. Gleyber Torres with his struggles, shifting over to second base. Gio Urshela swapped over to the Twins. Josh Donaldson anchors third now. The 1-1. Strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2. That made New York try to round out that infield, make it a little bit more secure. And they got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. The 1-2. Hit high and deep out to left field. Tapia gets back to the wall. He turns around and it's gone. 4th home run of the season for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa as New York on front 2-0.
That one had that sound, didn't it, Ben? Right off the bat, you could tell Kiner-Falefa got the true portion of the barrel to what StatCast is registering as a changeup from Kevin Gausman. It could be hard to tell with his changeup and his splitter. Was that a true changeup? Was it a splitter that didn't split? Oh, it looks like it was the changeup from Kevin Gausman, just looking at the grip there. So Kiner-Falefa got into it.
15th home run allowed by Kevin Gausman. Brings up Jose Trevino. First pitch attacking, fell back. Strike 1 on Trevino. 2-0 New York, and if Gausman doesn't have a good feel for the changeup, that's where it becomes dangerous. Righty versus righty, because it can float right back into the wheelhouse. And even Kiner-Falefa doesn't hit many. Got all that one. The 0-1. Fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes.
It could be hard to differentiate between Gausman's changeup and his splitter. I feel that was his changeup because just looking at that replay, he wasn't on the seams. So with the splitter, he really digs into the seams to try to get that downward action. Looked like he was more on the, the bald part of the ball, for lack of a better term.
Who you calling bald?
Most of our broadcasters. But
the pool of Sportsnet talent. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Trevino is down on strikes. Gausman will fan his third, but he falls behind 2-0 on a Trevino or Isaiah Kiner-Falefa solo home run. Midway through 2-0 New York. This is Blue Jays baseball. Served up by Jack Link's Meats.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. 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 Woo-hoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's best jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games, maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Matt Spiegel, and I'm the host of the brand new podcast, Beat the Streak Daily. Every weekday this Major League season, I will update the state of Beat the Streak. The rules are simple. Each day, pick one or two players you think will get a hit. If they do, your streak continues. Sounds doable, right? But so far, it's been impossible to win. And with millions of dollars on the line, no one has ever gotten to 56. Subscribe now to Beat the Streak Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, and play Beat the Streak for your chance to win $5.6 million.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Charlie Puth.
I just surround myself with my family. And if you don't really have a big family, just surround yourself with some of your closest friends. And it's pretty amazing how other people can lift one up just from their energy alone. Mental health in general is not to be looked down upon. It's a very serious thing, and it's important that your mind is healthy just as much as your body physically is healthy.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
MLB Network brings you closer to the game. Watch MLB Tonight, baseball's show of record for breakdowns, analysis, and look-ins to live games.
Oh, Harold, will it get down? It will.
Then Quick Pitch zips through the highlights from every game and gives you a look ahead, all in one lightning-fast hour.
Another historic performance on Wednesday night.
Watch MLB Tonight every night and Quick Pitch late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network. Go to MLBnetwork.com to find your channel number.
Football season is here. The new Odyssey app lets you stay connected to your NFL team, your station, your shows. Follow your favorite stations and come back again and again. Get real-time updates on everything you care about. Miss your show? Jump back to our awesome Rewind feature. The Odyssey app is NFL football, live and on demand, wherever you are, whenever you want. And did we mention it's all free? Download the Odyssey app today.
Kirk and Severino and everybody else keep this game moving. Miggy hit his home run last August, the 3-1. Darts over for a called strike, and it's 3-2. And then, of course, the next milestone in Major League Baseball history might happen over the course of 72 hours here at Rogers Center with Aaron Judge. 3-2. Fouled back to the right. There have certainly been some standout moments in terms of the franchise history. Carlos Delgado just celebrated the anniversary of his 4-homer game. The list is really just how long you want to make it, right? And what you consider a milestone. But there are pinpoint positions with history. 3-2. That's high, ball 4. Blue Jays get their first base runner with a leadoff walk.
Well, it's cool when a guy has an opportunity to do it in a playoff race for a team that's playing for something, trying to clinch the AL East, trying to do something great. You know, it's one thing if the guy in the last place club throws a no-hitter. Miguel Cabrera hits his 500th home run for a Tigers team that's going nowhere, but it's cool to see Judge doing it for a good team, to see Albert Pujols hit number 700 for a club that's in an NL playoff race.
Matt Chapman, the batter, takes the breaking ball over for a called strike 1. How about the reaction of his Cardinal teammates? And how about a guy that has played over 2 decades in the big leagues, floating around the bases at Chavez Ravine when Albert Pujols hit 699 and 700 the same night? 0-1. Fastball just missed inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Dude's 42, and he's having his best season since his prime. Like since his late 20s, early 30s. It's incredible what he's done for the Cardinals. He hasn't just been the old guy hanging on. He has been a legit part of that offense.
Swing and a miss by Chapman, and it's 1-2. Pujols on the farewell circuit, traveled with St. Louis, played here at Rogers Center. Really didn't have much more than a curtain call, honestly, from the Rogers Center faithful, recognizing the greatness. The 1-2, swing and a miss. 98-mile-an-hour fastball pumped by Chapman. And there's 1 down. Yankees 2, Blue Jays nothing. Oscar Hernandez, the batter.
Severino went right after Matt Chapman there. He was not messing around. Got ahead with a slider on the plate for a called strike. And then 2 four-seamers all over the plate. The Chapman swung right through. No fear from Severino with his fastball on the plate there.
Teoscar Hernandez steps in, swings and fouls the first pitch back. That's strike 1. Yesterday at the Trop, the longest home run in the StatCast era ever belted by a Blue Jay against the Tampa Bay Rays down at St. Petersburg came off the bat of Teoscar Hernandez at 464 feet. The second longest of Teoscar's career. He started to swing the bat very well. Hernandez lays off the slider. Check swing. Didn't go around on the appeal. Rebounding out of a 10 for 52 rut. Finished the road trip going 9 for 24. Now 22 home runs and 70 RBIs. The 1-1. Spins over for a called strike. Heavy dose of fastballs and sliders the first time through the order from Luis Severino.
Which is interesting because his changeup's a really nasty pitch, too. It's been a good one for him this year. Blue Jays haven't seen too much of it. Maybe Severino keeping it in his back pocket for his second trip through.
1-2. Swing and a miss. There's the slider again. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Severino threw Teoscar nothing but sliders, 4 of them. Teoscar fouled the first one off, took the second for a ball. Third one he took for a called strike, and the fourth he swung right through. I think the scouting report on Teoscar is out. Down and away breaking stuff. He's going to see a steady diet of that down the stretch and through the postseason. Is on him to make the adjustment, to lay off of those pitches and force pitchers to give him fastballs on the plate that he can hit 464 feet.
Here's Raimel Tapia. Backs away from a fastball, takes it inside, ball 1. Blue Jays are trailing 2-0. Raimel Tapia the last couple of weeks certainly has been a savior with his bat and his outfield play. Seeing more time without Lourdes Gurriel Jr. on the injured list for the better part of this week yet. Lourdes has been doing some baseball activity, started to run more aggressively over the last couple of days. Fastball to Tapia, called strike, and it's 1-1. Raimel batting .265. 20 doubles, 3 triples, and 6 home runs. Matches career high from last year with 50 RBIs. Kirk, the runner at first, took a leadoff walk. The 1-1. Bounding ball out to second. 2 hopper handled by Torres. Easy flip to first. That'll retire Tapia and the Blue Jays. No runs, no hits. A walk leaves a man. Off to the third. Judge will lead it off next with the Yankees in front, 2-0. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Activate next level fans. To the best fans in the league, we're just getting started. Great fans deserve to be recognized. On Fan Appreciation Weekend, come out and let us celebrate you.
To have the crowd behind us, it means the world.
We're in this together. Let's get ready for playoff baseball.
It's time to get loud.
On Saturday, get your Blue Jays best giveaway. And on Sunday, come for great in-game prizes and activities. Fan Appreciation Weekend, presented by TD. October 1st and 2nd. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Make your next career move with 2 Men in a Truck. The company is hiring motivated and enthusiastic team members for mover, driver, and customer service positions. And if you're looking for more, professional advancement is always a possibility. In fact, 75% of 2 Men in a Truck managers started in frontline positions. Now is the time to apply. Visit 2meninatruck.ca and click careers.
2 Men and a Truck, the movers who care.
Do you want to bet on live sports? Then you need to try in-play betting with Bet365. In-play betting lets you make a bet while the game's still being played. Seriously. You can bet on things like puck line, the money line, total hits, touchdowns, the next goal scorer, fight outcome. Download the app now and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook.
Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
1 through 9 kind of feels like a 10 out of 10. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're in the third inning. Brought to you by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Feed your wild side. Baseball fans, Yankees with a 2-0 lead over Kevin Gausman and the Blue Jays. Aaron Judge is second at bat. Singled to right his first time up. Tagged and scored on the fly ball from Gleyber Torres. Made it 1-0. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa ran into his fourth of the year. He made it 2-zip. Now Gausman against Judge. The right-hander deals. And the pitch is up and in. Chatting with Danny Jansen before the ball game today, without giving away the state secrets, I said, how have the Blue Jays been able to handle Aaron Judge? This has been basically a wire-to-wire season. Good with average, good with power. How have the Blue Jays done it? Jano dips the right knee, now the 1-0. Fastball low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And the answer was simple. It's not about the right pitch. It's about pitch execution. The 2-0. Swinging a line drive up the line and left. That'll scream into the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike on Judge. And that's interesting that Danny Jansen points at pitch execution because Aaron Judge had a great quote this past weekend. Home runs are thrown, not hit. And that is the calling card of the Blue Jays. They're trying to make sure what they throw, or pitch in this matter, is the right pitch and execute it to the spot. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went over the splitter, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, you look at what the majority of home runs come off of. Pitches that catch the fat part of the plate. You don't see that many guys hitting pitches outside the zone or on the edges for home runs consistently. They got to be up and over.
2-2. Check swing and a pitch down to the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of home runs come off mistakes. You hang that slider, that curveball, you miss your fastball location, and it stays in that happy zone to a righty on the inner half. You're trying to land that changeup, and it just sits up there for the lefty.
3-2. Bounce to the plate. A walk to Judge. Leadoff batter aboard here in the third. Yankees 2, Blue Jays nothing. Anthony Rizzo comes to the plate. Not a lot happening on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. We'll cover all 4 games throughout the night, including that Red Sox and Orioles matchup that could help the Blue Jays in their magic number tonight. Blue Jays open play against the New York Yankees, the first of 3, but a series that begins in Boston against the Orioles. Pitch to Rizzo. Ground ball, it might be 2. Flagged at second by Merrifield. Double clutches out of the glove. Bichette with a fire to first base in time to get the out. A little bit of a juggle by Merrifield out at second base as he starts to swivel. And then the pivot turned in by Bichette with a bullet to first base to turn 2.
You know, Aaron Judge leads off for this Yankees team, and Anthony Rizzo hits second, but that's not because they're burners. That's because they're big bats. So even with Merrifield and Bichette not having the cleanest, crispest double play turned here, just because of the relative lack of speed of those 2 individuals, they are able to turn it. Great 1 pitch out for Kevin Gausman. Remember, Anthony Rizzo gave him such a battle in the first inning and ended up coming away with a double.
Here's Gleyber Torres. Swings at a first pitch again. A roller out to second. Funneled up by Merrifield. On to first in time to retire the side. Started with a leadoff walk at a double play ball and a first pitch worm burner to face the minimum in the third. 2.5 gone by. 2-0 New York. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Is moments from the area's bustling shopping and dining district, as well as its lush urban green spaces and town trails. Built by one of Canada's top home builders, The Post is your opportunity to experience all that North Oakville's emerging city center has to offer. Register today at greenparkgroup.com.
And now coming down the walkway is Gordy in a high-vis plaid quilt-lined flannel jacket from Force Field Protective. Man, this is the perfect Scarborough dinner jacket. Good, Gord. He's looking good, and he's showing up great.
Fashion meets function with force-field protective clothing and accessories. High-visibility gear for the job site, designed to stand up to tough weather conditions. It's the ultimate in comfort and safety, plus free shipping on orders over $49. Visit highvissafety.ca. That's HIVIS safety.ca.
Chris, pro sandwich artist, amateur spokesperson, rolling!
New Subway delivery. Order only on the Subway app and get special deals. Like $0 delivery fee.
Chris, are you ordering on the Subway app right now?
Maybe?
Ooh, could I get in on that? Eat fresh, refresh. From the top, please. Freshly prepared for your order. Limited time at participating shops. Terms, taxes, and other fees still apply. Cut!
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
We are tied! The Blue Jays are all the way back!
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Blue Jays down 2-0. It's the home third. Danny Jansen will lead it off and take a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike one from Pedro Severino. Or Luis Severino. Pitch to Jansen. Downstairs. 1-1 strike. 8-9-1. Batting for Toronto. With Merrifield and the bat to the top of the card and George Springer. Severino's 1-1. Lined off to the right. 1-2 strikes. Jano at 251, 13 home runs and 37 driven in. Looks out in the 1-2 inbound. Fouled back.
It's interesting to see Severino still not using the changeup much. He's thrown only 2 all game, one of them in this plate appearance against Dane Jansen. This pitch is using about a quarter of the time this year, so the Blue Jays got to be thinking, it's there. He might throw it.
1-2. There is a changeup down in the dirt. It's there. It just wasn't a good one. Last time out for Severino, he faced a lot of left-handed hitters, and it was a fastball changeup repertoire. Check swing on the pitch on the outside corner. Didn't go around. That's the slider from Severino. It's 3-2. Now facing the Blue Jays lineup, much different than the first time off the injured list, meeting the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It's a soft entry point.
Yeah. The 3-2. Outside, missed with the slider. Second consecutive inning, the Blue Jays get a leadoff walk.
Severino's a guy who'll use his changeup to righties. There's a lot of pitchers who are afraid of that. They don't want to miss with their changeup to a right-hander, but Severino's used it against righties consistently this year. So Blue Jays hitters have to be aware of it. I really do wonder if he's just saving it for the second trip through, showing them those fastballs and sliders now, and then when George Springer and Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. come back up, maybe sprinkling the changeup a bit more, give them a different look.
With Merrifield at the plate, looks at a slider that darts over for a called strike one.
It's interesting, too, because there is a non-zero chance that these two teams meet again in the postseason. So the Yankees have to be thinking, well, how much do we want to show the Blue Jays here right now?
The 0-1, lined off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes on Merrifield. If the Blue Jays had a scenario going back about 10 days where they had this 3-game series meaningful to take possession of the division, to really go toe-to-toe, the pitching rotation in this series would have changed. The 2 scenarios ultimately that the Blue Jays were deciding on, one, what to do in the final 3 against the Baltimore Orioles, which is still in play. The 0-2, ground ball out to second, picked up by Torres to Kiner Falefa for 1, on to first in time, a double play. That washes away that leadoff walk. Now 2 down for George Springer. And then, ... what about that New York Yankees series when the Blue Jays were still thinking that they were fighting for the division? But that comeback by Aaron Judge where he got a 60th on Tuesday night, and then the walk-off grand slam by Giancarlo Stanton. That was a real turning point for the Blue Jays in projecting the rotation. That's when they built in the extra off day for Alek Manoah. Severino fires inside on Springer, ball one.
Yeah, there was a moment earlier this month where you could have squinted at the standings and said, is the division going to be in play? But then, of course, the Yankees went off and went like 21-10 over their last 31 and reestablished that big lead they've had for most of the year.
The 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes on Springer.
The Yankees playing well right now. They've won 11 of 13, 15 of 19. They had that weird swoon after the All-Star break where nothing was going right. They've come out of it.
The 2-0, chopped on the ground on the left side, cut up in the hole by Donaldson from third, throws to his left, on to first in time to retire Springer, and the Blue Jays who get the minimum to the plate. Off to the fourth right after this, Blue Jays down 2-0 against New York. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Hugh Herron, chairman of Heathwood Homes. Tradition means a lot to us. Our reputation for quality, service, and customer care are all part of Heathwood's tradition, and that has made us the most successful new home builder. Thousands of people are now proud to be living in a Heathwood home in one of our many outstanding communities, and you can too. Visit heathwood.com to learn all about our fabulous communities. With Heathwood, you'll be home at last.
At Sell Off Vacations, we know about staying covered on vacation. You know, big hats, sunscreen, sunglasses. The right coverage can also help protect your vacation. Seriously, you don't want to go through what happened to me in 2006. Book your winter vacation now to get complimentary protection that'll cover you better than a hat ever could. Insurance is underwritten by the manufacturer's life insurance company, Manulife. Terms and conditions apply. In store with 6 locations in the GTA, online, or just give us a call.
SellOutVacations.com. Activate next level fans. To the best fans in the league, we're just getting started. Great fans deserve to be recognized. On Fan Appreciation Weekend, come out and let us celebrate you.
To have the crowd behind us, it means the world.
We're in this together. Let's get ready for playoff baseball.
It's time to get loud.
On Saturday, get your Blue Jays best giveaway. And on Sunday, come for great in-game prizes and activities. Fan Appreciation Weekend, presented by TD, October 1st and 2nd. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
What's the Blue Jays' favorite type of pasta? Spaghetti and meatballs. Hold the noodles extra meatballs. This is Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
We're coming to you from Rogers Center in the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. We're the co-host of At the Waters podcast, Arden Zwelling. I'm Ben Wagner. Yankees 2, Blue Jays 0. Josh Donaldson, Giancarlo Stanton, Oswaldo Cabrera up to face Kevin Gausman. 44th pitch of the day is just a little bit low for ball one. Gausman with his fastball has been a little erratic with velocity today. I think if you take a step back and just look at all the velos, you're just going to by looking at the numbers, say his velo is down. That's the bottom line. The 1-0 pitch. Splitter low. 2 balls and no strikes. We have not seen 95 to 97 miles an hour tonight at all.
He's averaging 93.3 tonight. It's about 1.7 miles per hour down from his season average.
The 2-0. Donaldson hits it sharply on a bounce, backhanded by Pichette, lunging to his right. Upright, low throw, dig by Guerrero, tagging the baseline, onto the chest of Donaldson to get the out. Poe stayed with that hot shot, threw it to the inside. Guerrero left the bag, and then he met JD in the baseline. Could have been a gnarly collision. Donaldson was powering down and took the tag from Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, you hate seeing these plays that carry the first baseman's left arm into the base runner. So easy to fracture a wrist or sprain a ligament there in those collisions. But like you said, Donaldson was powering down at the time, so Vladdy just able to apply the tag.
Giancarlo Stanton takes a splitter over for a called strike.
You know, probably important to remember with Kevin Gausman, this is the 169th inning right now of his season that he's pitching in. He has not missed, he missed a start because of that ankle thing, but he hasn't been on the IL all year. This is his 30th start.
Stanton hits a fly ball near the line and right. Racing forward, Hernandez. Back goes Guerrero. Over the shoulder catch by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Oh, man. That's a play that would shine on Sundays. A post pattern by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Full tilt, running up the right field line, extends the leather, makes an over-the-shoulder catch.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen him do this. Vladdy's gotten pretty good at this play and navigating that foul territory at Rogers Center. He starts by taking a peek at Teoscar Hernandez in right field, sees he's not going to get there, takes off, and over the shoulder, makes a great catch to retire Giancarlo Stanton.
2 down. Oswaldo Cabrera, the batter. On the left side, the pitch popped back our way and off to the left into the 200 level for strike 1. I asked Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I said, Vladdy, you look way too comfortable, running through foul territory like this. Did you enjoy playing outfield at some point as a youngster? He said, absolutely. In my younger days, I wanted to be an outfielder. I thought I was fast enough. I wanted to go after balls in the gap and just run around like a wild man. The 0-1 pitch hit up the line, fading off into the left field seats. 0-2 on Cabrera. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he likes to show off the wheels, the range.
Yeah, that
less and less at first base, just like he's kind of hidden the arm, too. He's still got that.
Well, and that was a 90-foot run by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but that ball hung up for so long, you really never had to get up to full speed to track it down.
Cabrera fouls it back. 0-2.
We'll see Matt Chapman do that on the third base side sometimes. The tough part for Chapman is he's so often shifted over towards second base. He is no joke sprinting like 125 feet to get to foul territory and try to make plays.
Yeah, but he feels comfortable because he had to cover the same territory in Oakland all those years. 2 down, nobody on. The 0-2 pitch is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cabrera. The Yankees score a run in the first and 1 in the second, leading 2-0 now in the fourth. The 1-2. Out of play to the left. This fourth inning is being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you own the world's favorite sportsbook. With 63 million members worldwide. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. One and 2 the count. Nobody on. The pitch. Missed away. Cabrera started to look like he wanted to swing at that, but he lays off the splitter. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kevin Gausman reaching back for 96 in this plate appearance, 95 on that 1-2 foul ball. So starting to tap into that velo that was missing earlier in the outing.
The 2-2 is a fastball hit high in the air under the closed roof. In comes Springer. He's there, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The first true 1-2-3 inning of work for Kevin Gausman. Midway through the fourth, Yankees 2, Blue Jays nothing. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Lake's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
MLB Network brings you closer to the game. Watch MLB Tonight, baseball's show of record, for breakdowns, analysis, and look-ins to live games.
Oh, Harold, will it get down? It will
Then Quick Pitch zips through the highlights from every game and gives you a look ahead, all in one lightning-fast hour.
Another historic performance on Wednesday night.
Watch MLB Tonight every night and Quick Pitch late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network. Go to MLBnetwork.com to find your channel number.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
I'm Matt Spiegel, and I'm the host of the brand new podcast, Beat the Streak Daily. Every weekday this Major League season, I will update the state of Beat the Streak. The rules are simple. Each day, pick one or two players you think will get a hit. And if they do, your streak continues. Sounds doable, right? But so far, it's been impossible to win. And with millions of dollars on the line, no one has ever gotten to 56. Subscribe now to Beat the Streak Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, and play Beat the Streak for your chance to win $5.6 million.
Football season is here. The new Odyssey app lets you stay connected to your NFL team, your station, your shows. Follow your favorite stations and come back again and again. Get real-time updates on everything you care about. Miss your show? Jump back to our awesome Rewind feature. The Odyssey app is NFL football, live and on demand, wherever you are, whenever you want. And did we mention it's all free? Download the Odyssey app today.
Got a new helmet.
I did. Bought it cheap online. Follow me. We'll turn off here.
I'm right behind you.
Watch the cars. They can be crazy.
Teddy! No! Are you okay? Somebody do something!
Was this young man hit by a car?
Yes, and his helmet is smashed. It's a brand new helmet.
It's probably a fake. Fakes cause real harm. You're smart. Buy smart. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Looking for stories about Black culture, Black news, all Black everything? Then listen and subscribe to the podcast Beyond Black History Month. From influential newsmakers like Soledad O'Brien.
I try to use Twitter to explain, this thing is not good, but let me explain to you why it's not good. And let's talk about what framing is.
To why Game of Thrones fans can believe in dragons, but not a Black Targaryen. Or Valerion, technically. Find Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
2-2. Blue Jays would take that. The 2-2. Swinging a looper up the right field line. That'll fade into the seats. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bichette.
And Bo is about to see the 10th pitch of the plate appearance. And look, Bo has a lot of quick plate appearances because he's so aggressive. He so often swings at the first pitch, puts it in play a lot of the time. But when he's locked in like he is right now, he can have these plate appearances like this, where he's up into the double digits of pitches seen.
The 2-2. Line the other way, a base hit into right field. On the 10th pitch of the at-bat, Bo sizzles one the opposite way. He's got his first hit of the night, and the 3rd straight inning, the Blue Jays have the leadoff man on.
Yeah, what a nice job by Bo Bichette to finally get to this 97-mile-an-hour heater up in the zone that he goes the other way with. Bo Bichette, one of the better opposite field line drive swings in the majors. And I mean, he saw fastballs, he saw sliders, he saw changeups in that plate appearance. Fouled off, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches in the 10-pitch plate appearance. Reaches first base with a single. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now at the dish.
Tying run steps in. Vladdy swings at the first pitch and fouls it away to the right. Strike one on Guerrero. Vladdy turned in a dazzling defensive play during the last half inning. Racing up the right field line, making an over-the-shoulder catch. Bo with wheels on at first. Vladdy in the batter's box with 30 home runs and 90 driven in. A move towards first, nearly thrown away by Severino. Rizzo had to step over the dive back of Bichette to handle it.
Funny how Vladdy's 30-homer season feels like somewhat of a disappointment, right?
He raised the bar, as you would say, last year. The 0-1 pitch. Guerrero takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Salvador Perez in Kansas City. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. tied for the lead in Major League Baseball. Each of them finished with 48 home runs. And here's Vladdy, followed up with a 30-homer season, hitting .275.
What, only 30? That's it?
30 and 90. The 1-1. Sliders outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's like you said, he's hitting .275. He's got a .340 OBP, an .820 OPS. There are guys who would kill for this season. But because of what we've seen from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in his young career, it feels like a bit of a step back.
I wonder if we see 275, 30-plus home runs, and then 90 to 100. The 2-1. Guerrero scolds it on the ground. Out to shortstop. Connor Follett in trouble with it. Hit him in the chest. Throw to first. Not in time! Vladdy's not taking any plays off. He smoked that ball. Nearly hit it through Connor Follett, and then took off, running up the first baseline. After the bobble, no chance to get the play at second. And then, with Connor Follett phased in recovery, Guerrero able to leg it out. Nobody out in what could have been a double play ball.
And credit Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for hustling up the first base line. A lot of guys would take that play off. You think about it, Vladdy got an elevated slider, a really good pitch to hit. Should have hit about 2 miles. Instead, he hits the ground ball to short, but he busts it out of the box, gets up the first base line, scalded the ball so hard that a play couldn't be made on it. Now there's 2 on.
Here's Alejandro Kirk. A swing and a foul back for strike 1. They have credited Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a base hit on that play.
112 off the bat.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. It could have gone through Kiner Falefa. Blue Jays threatening. The pitch to Kirk. Just at the knees, called a ball, and it's 1-1.
That is a good example of the difference in this season and last for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I feel like last year he demolishes that pitch, Ben. It's a slider up in the zone. He's in 2-1 action count, but he hit it on the ground.
The 1-1. This is down and away. A couple of changeups have faded away from Alejandro Kirk in this at-bat.
Yeah, starting to see that changeup a bit more from Severino here. Didn't see it very much the first trip through. Alejandro Kirk's got himself in a nice position. 2-1. Runners on first and second. When Vlad was 2-1, he got an elevated breaking ball. See if Kirk can get something similar that he can drive.
The 2-1. A fastball very high. 3 balls and 1 strike on Kirk. Rogers Center has been waiting to erupt for the Blue Jays. Certainly aware that Major League Baseball history very much on the forefront in tonight over the next 3 nights with the Yankees in town. But the bottom line is they're all wearing blue and white, and they want to cheer for the Blue Jays. Down 2-0 here in the 4th. The 3-1. A strike called on the outside corner. Kirk maybe thought it was wide. Chance that he thought it was high.
Borderline, certainly, but could have gone either way. This is the embodiment of Alejandro Kirk right here, isn't it? Big moment. The crowd's getting into it. A lot of pressure. Playoff race. and the pulse looks like it's barely even moving for him.
First and second, the 3-2. That is high. Ball 4.
He's so calm. He is so poised. That was the exact same pitch from Luis Severino, just a little bit further off the plate. Kirk just got rung up on it. A pitch earlier, he thought it was off. Wasn't called that way by Laz Diaz. Very similar pitch backs it up, and Kirk takes it. He has the mettle. At 23 years of age, he has the poise to take that pitch in that spot. That's why Alejandro Kirk is a special hitter.
He loads the bases for Toronto. Their best scoring opportunity against Severino here in the 4th inning, trailing 2-0. Out-of-town scoreboards are brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Game on, Canada. Help us celebrate 30 devilishly good years of being your Blue Jays headquarters. Join us for wings, beer, cocktails, and more. We've got all the bases covered. Download the new app or visit stlouiswings.com for more. Always devilishly good. Rain has halted the action in New England at Fenway Park tonight. The Baltimore Orioles get a 4th spot in the top of the 2nd inning, have a 5-2 lead over the Boston Red Sox, but again, delayed because of weather in that contest. That'll factor into the Blue Jays' magic number. Here's Matt Chapman, swing and a miss at a fastball right over the knuckles for strike 1.
Don't usually see Matt Chapman that aggressive, particularly against a first pitch that is off the plate. So selective and disciplined. Maybe trying to do a little bit too much there, looking for his first career grand slam.
Sacks are packed, and the fastball's wide. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And there's really no reason to expand here and to chase anything that isn't in your happy zone. Luis Severino has not had his best control in this inning. He's been missing the plate. Just walked Alejandro Kirk. Matt Chapman's going to force him on.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Bichette the lead runner. Vladdy at second. Kirk on at first. Back-to-back base hits, and then the 3-2 walk to load him up. Tying runs in scoring position. Chapman stares out. The 1-2 is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can hear that pitch from here reverberating Luis Trevino's glove. 98 from Luis Severino. He was reaching back for a little extra.
We've seen plenty of 98s. We've seen 99s from Luis Severino tonight. Certainly not recovering from velocity. Bases loaded. The 2-2 fouled back.
Severino's going right after Chapman with heaters in this big spot with nowhere to put him. Remember, it was the 2nd inning when he struck out Chapman. 2 swinging strikes on fastballs on the plate. Severino feels confident with his heater against Chapman.
The 2-2, swinging a high fly ball, shallow in center. Out goes Connor Falefa. In comes Bader. He's underneath it, makes the catch. No chance for Bichette to tag and advance. 1 down. Bases stay full. And Teoscar Hernandez coming up to the plate.
Yeah, we don't say this often this year, Ben, but tough at bat for Matt Chapman. He expanded the zone a couple times, didn't look particularly comfortable, didn't really get, 2 swinging strikes, didn't get a good barrel on the bat there in that 2-2 count. Flies out too shallow to center field to score Bo Bichette from third. Now Teoscar Hernandez is going to try to make something of this situation.
Hernandez 0 for 1 tonight. He went down on strikes, facing the hard-throwing right-hander his first time in. The pitch. A fastball picks the outside corner for strike 1. Teo didn't want that one. That's a ground ball waiting to happen.
Nothing but fastballs to Matt Chapman in that plate appearance. 6 fastballs. Severino feels really good about getting his heater past the Blue Jays third baseman.
Toronto down 2-0. We've got the bases loaded, 1 out. Hernandez smokes it. Straight away center field. Bader back at the wall. He leaps into the air, and it's off the top of the fence. Bichette races towards the plate. Vladdy's right behind him to tie the game. It's a 2-2 ball game. A 2-run double off the top of the center field wall. Kurt stands at third. The 33rd double of the season for Teoscar Hernandez. 72 RBIs on the season, and he nearly, and I mean by fingernails, almost had a grand slam.
Yeah, he thought he had a grand slam until the ball hit the top of the wall. He watched it the entire way, and I mean, it just hit the top of the wall. And Teoscar Hernandez was barely out of the right-handed hitter's batter's box by the time the ball fell off the top of the wall. He had to really hustle to get into second base. All those base runners for the Blue Jays, by the way, had to hold up in case that ball was caught. So good outcome for the Blue Jays, getting 2 runs on that play.
2-2 score here in the fourth. Raimel Tapia bats, and he jackknifes out of the way, taking a 97-mile-an-hour fastball down and in.
Vladdy just beat the relay at home, too. I mean, he was hustling around third, head first slide into the plate. It was a close play just because of how long it took for that ball to come down.
2 in scoring position. Tapia swings, pops it up behind third, shuffling back Donaldson, still on the skin portion, makes the catch. Tapia pops up, and there are 2 out. There is just a little bit of blue. I mean, the slightest little sliver above the signage to the right of the batter's eye and the top of the wall, and that's where that ball sank into the paths and then nestled right back onto the turf next to Harrison Bader, the center fielder, who made a bid on it. He left his feet, had the glove extended. He was trying to reel it in off the top of the 10-foot wall. He couldn't pluck it. And then everybody was off to the races. Bo was standing at third base just in case that ball got caught. Vladdy never made it all the way back to second. Played it about a third of the way, and that was the difference between the Blue Jays getting 1 out of that drive versus tying the game.
As the ball hit the top of the wall, Teoscar Hernandez was standing not far from home plate, holding the bat above his head. He thought it was gone.
Danny Jansen steps in, fouls it into the glove of Trevino for strike 1.
Would have been a great pimpage moment if that ball had gone. Great style points. The only problem is the ball didn't leave the yard.
The style was there from yesterday when he blasted one 464 feet into the second deck at the Trop. The 0-1. Jansen takes a strike on the inside corner. Good slider. Backing up Jansen. And it's 0-2.
And the Yankees would have easily had Teoscar out at second base, by the way, but they chose to go home and try to get Guerrero Jr. Weren't able to get him at the plate, and Hernandez got his double.
The 0-2, down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But if the Yankees had relayed that ball to second, Teoscar would have been dead to rights, because by the time the ball was back to the infield, he was barely around first base.
Blue Jays 2, Yankees 2. Last of the 4th inning. The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. A fastball at 98 locks up Danny Jansen to retire this side. The first 3 came up. The first 3 got on. And then 2 scored to tie the game 2-2. We're off to the 5th right after this with Blue Jays baseball presented by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Looking for stories about Black culture, Black news, all Black everything? Then listen and subscribe to the podcast Beyond Black History Month. From influential newsmakers like Soledad O'Brien.
I try to use Twitter to explain this thing is not good, but let me explain to you why it's not good. And let's talk about what framing is.
To why Game of Thrones fans can believe in dragons, but not a Black Targaryen. Or Valerion, technically. Find Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
The baseball season is underway. Swung out and belted. Gone!
Watch live baseball coverage on MLB Network with live games all season long and live look-ins, breakdowns, and analysis every night on MLB Tonight. And with MLB Network on your TV, tablet, and mobile device, you can catch the all-day action every day your way on MLB Network. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Hooking into the corner and gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
That's how you come up with an answer in the Bronx.
This fifth inning is being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and even make a bet while the game is still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. With Arden Zwelling, I'm Ben Wagner. Thanks for joining us here at Rogers Center today. It's been a good one so far. The Yankees score in the first and the second. The Blue Jays even the score 2-2 with a pair of runs in the fourth inning. Harrison Bader will lead it off against Kevin Gausman. He swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Moving in, drifting to his left. Springer extends the glove to stop Hernandez, and the catch is made. A pitch and an out. Kevin Gausman is not allowed a hit since allowing the home run to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And Kiner-Falefa bats here in the fifth inning.
Yeah, he settled in nicely. Remember, Gausman had some pretty challenging plate appearances with Aaron Judge and Anthony Rizzo in the first inning. Gave up the early run on the Gleyber Torres sac fly. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa got a change up in the second for a homer.
Pitch over the knees, a called strike one on Kiner-Falefa.
Walk of Judge to lead off the third. No one's going to get on him too hard for that one. You want to be very careful with Mr. Judge these days. But Gausman's been cruising ever since.
The 0-1. Cracked weakly towards third. Charge again. Chapman's got it on the move. Guns it to first in time. 2 down.
One of those routine plays for Matt Chapman that maybe isn't so routine for near mortals. We've been seeing him do this all year. He just charges in confidently on this slow bouncer and makes a play with plenty of time. His first step is so quick. His reactions are just so fine-tuned. He just makes a confident stride right away. Makes that play look easy.
2 down. We're in the fifth, a 2-2 game. Jose Trevino, the batter. Right-hander's pitch. Pick the outside corner. Sharp slider from Kevin Gausman. Infield, back outfield, playing straight away. Gausman straightens high. Ready for his 60th pitch. Here it is. And it's fired right across at 94 miles an hour. And it's been a heavy dose of strikes tonight. 60 pitches, 43 strikes for Kevin Gausman.
That's a better fastball from Gausman. We were seeing some 90s, 91s earlier in this inning. And started thinking, uh-oh. But now he's back up to 94. That's where Kevin Gausman needs to be.
Gausman with a split, misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You made the point earlier. The velocity has fluctuated throughout this game. It'll happen for Gausman from time to time. He's still finding a way to be in the zone, as you said, and get outs. And the big thing lately in these middle innings is getting his outs efficiently.
We're tied at 2. Judge is on deck. And the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a liner into center field, pushing Springer back. Now races back forward, and he makes the catch. And he exhales as he plucks it, looks over at his teammate, and says, oh, man, that was close. It knuckled on Springer on the way out to center field. He made a mid-flight adjustment, raced back forward, and hauls in out number 3, assisting Gausman in a perfect fifth inning. 5.5, midway through the fifth, that is, tied 2-2. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us. couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good. Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta. Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Bo Bichette saw all your memes and raises a glass of vino to you. Bordeaux Bichette plays here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Blue Jays and Yankees tied 2-2, moving into the home fifth inning here at Rogers Center. Hey, Blue Jay fans in Ontario, have you gotten your tickets yet for the Super September 50-50 jackpot? Get it right now and support Jays Care. The grand prize is already over an incredible $1.6 million, and it will continue to climb through Sunday. If it passes $2 million, it'll officially be the largest jackpot in big league history. Join in the excitement and the playoff push, as well as winnings that could be in your pocket come up this weekend. Go to bluejays.com/5050 for more. When Merrifield steps in and the first pitch is fouled away to the right or strike one. Yankees have made a pitching change. No more Luis Severino. He is out. This was just the second start off of injury. So they've gone to the bullpen. And the right-hander's pitch is popped up behind home plate. Trevino looking at it, and it just slips over the screen. It actually hits the lip of the front row. That's the difference between a catch and probably an out versus just a strike with the backstop and that screen defending it. Jose Trevino behind the plate. Lou Trevino on the mound. Trevino deals, and the slider misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Whit Merrifield.
He has a shoulder issue for Luis Severino that held him out for a couple months over the summer there. Came back through 64 pitches in his last outing, 76 in this one. Yankees just building him up for the postseason.
Liner off to the right. Merrifield paddles away to stay alive. Yeah, missed about 2 solid months with what was called a mild lat strain shoulder issue, depending on, the timing of the discussion when you talk to it about the medical evaluators. Regardless, 7th year in the major leagues, 18th start for Luis Severino, the most that he's made since 18. Swing and a miss by Merrifield, and he's down on strikes.
Yeah, if you're the Yankees, it is all about October right now. They have a magic number of 2. If they win just 1 game in this series, they're going to clinch the AL East. So they're going to do everything possible to get their pitchers to the finish line as healthy and as effective as they can be.
Blue Jays, Yankees tied 2-2. Trevino deals in a line drive into center field. Here comes Bader. Makes the catch in front of his letters. Hard line out by Springer. Hit it too hard. Went right to the center fielder. We're in the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth tonight. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Co-host of At the Letters podcast, Arden Swelling. Actually, both hosts are here. Ben Nicholson-Smith is up the left field line. Here's Bo Bichette in the batter's box. Pitch is low and away. That's ball 1.
Final homestand of the year. Everybody is here.
It is a all hands on deck, if you will. There are so many stories, so many angles about this one. So much excitement around this Blue Jays club. The 1-0, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. It's easy to pinpoint a couple of homestands recently that generated a lot of excitement like this one. The last one last year, albeit heartbreaking for the Blue Jays, missing the playoffs by a game. The first series back against Kansas City. Pitch on the inside corner called strike 2-1. That, of course, evaporated a 670-day gap between the Blue Jays having their final home game of the 2019 season. And while that was forgettable, it was the distance between to get the Blue Jays back after the pandemic. The 2-1 below the knees. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike on Bo. But if you take away kind of the tug at your heartstring moments, this is the most important homestand for the Toronto Blue Jays since 2016. (3-1) Grounded to the right side. Another multiple hit game for Bo Bichette. A base hit slips in between Torres and Rizzo. He is 2 for 3 tonight.
And both hits to the opposite field. Bo Bichette leads MLB in opposite field hits. It's just what he does so well, is use all fields with that explosive swing of his. Makes great contact, great exit velocities for Bo. 112 off the bat right there. Hits the ball so hard and hits it all over the park. That's what makes him a pretty special hitter.
Blue Jays, Yankees, 2-2 score. A 2-out base runner at first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming to the plate. Move towards first to check in on Bichette. Another move to first. Bo goes back standing. Trevino coming aboard for New York, courtesy of Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty, pro all the way. Vladdy resets. Trevino deals. And a breaking ball tumbles in for a called strike 1.
Interesting approach here from Vladdy. He was taking that pitch all the way, just left the bat on his shoulder and watched it come in. Ended up being an okay pitch to hit. Breaking ball on the plate. He'll take it and go down 0-1.
Go-ahead run stands at first. The 0-1. Guerrero swings and misses at a slider. No balls and 2 strikes.
And I would question that swing decision as well, as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. expands the zone by an awful lot, chasing this slider well down and away from Trevino. Obviously, Vlad was looking for the heater there, but now he's in a tough spot, 0-2.
Big right-hander, again, spins off the top of the hill and checks in on Bo. And he is every bit of big, 6 feet 5 inches. Listed at 235 pounds. Already in a good lather here indoors at Rogers Center. Blue Jays with a 2-run double off the top of the wall from Teoscar Hernandez tie the game. The 0-2, Guerrero lays off the slider, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There's a good take from Vlad. Triggered the swing initially and then watched that slider tail down and away. That's where everybody tries to get Vlad out, right? Down in the zone, down and away. Breaking stuff, off-speed stuff. He's got to know it by now, and these scouting reports are only going to get more honed as we get into the postseason.
1-2. Slider low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That postseason could have a number of stops. It could be right here at Rogers Center. It might be back at the Trop. It could be in Seattle.
Could be Cleveland.
It could be Cleveland as well. The Blue Jays finished 3rd in the wild card race. Might be matched up against the Central Division winning and youngest team in baseball, the Guardians. They had their celebration yesterday. Go ahead, run it first. The 2-2, swinging a foul back. Outstays 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another slider. Vlad's seen 5 pitches in this plate appearance, 5 sliders. That one landed on the plate. Vlad fouled it straight back. Trevino hasn't shown him the heater yet. Vlad would love to square one up. He's also got to be aware that Trevino clearly feels pretty good at the slider against him right now. Can't expand.
Vladdy popped up to the first baseman, singled and scored back in the fourth. The 2-2. Low and away. Spin on the slider. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
6 pitches, 6 sliders from Trevino to Vlad. Bo Bichette saw all kinds of fastballs. Remember, 96s, 97s. Ended up taking a 97 to the opposite field. Let's see if Vlad can get one of those heaters here.
Go ahead, run on at first. We'll be in motion. There he goes. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow in center. Out goes Torres from second. He's there. Makes the squeeze. That retires Guerrero and the Blue Jays. No runs, a base hit, and a man left. Off to the 6th. Aaron Judge leads it off right after this. Tied at 2. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in full swing.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta. Does your company have a clear vision? Do you have the right people in the right seats? Are you consistently getting the results you want and enjoying the journey? If not, consider EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. EOS is a set of simple concepts and practical tools used by more than 100,000 companies around the world to clarify, simplify, and achieve their vision. Schedule your free 90-minute meeting with an EOS implementer at eosworldwide.com today. That's eosworldwide.com.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
MLB Network brings you closer to the game. Watch MLB Tonight, baseball's show of record for breakdowns, analysis, and look-ins to live games.
Oh, Harold, will it get down? It will.
Then Quick Pitch zips through the highlights from every game and gives you a look ahead, all in one lightning-fast hour.
Another historic performance on Wednesday night.
Watch MLB Tonight every night and Quick Pitch late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network. Go to MLBnetwork.com to find your channel number.
Top of the 6th inning, top of the order, and all eyes on the man in the batter's box. Aaron Judge bats for the New York Yankees. Tied 2-2 and on the brink of Major League Baseball history. 60 home runs this season for Aaron Judge. The pitch. Right over for a called strike 1 from Kevin Gausman. Big day for Aaron Judge. His mom has traveled. She is sitting right behind the dugout next to Roger Maris Jr., who is on hand. The 0-1. Missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The family of Roger Maris has really embraced recent home run chases. That of Mark McGwire. That, of course, of Aaron Judge. They have been on hand for both. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. They were in New York on Tuesday when Aaron Judge hit number 60. They stayed throughout the week. They have traveled north of the border. The 1-2 pitch. Just low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Judge. A Triple Crown watch as well for Aaron Judge. He'd be the 3rd ever Yankee to do it. The 2-2. Strike 3 call. Gausman got him with a slider. one out to start the 6th inning.
He's human, Ben. He strikes out just like the rest of them. Kevin Gosman gets a fairly generous call down below the zone with the slider from Laz Diaz. I think that
Laz Diaz, as we mentioned, one of the more emphatic home plate umpires in Major League Baseball. The New York Yankees are saying that pitch is down, that pitch is down. Laz Diaz, he quips back. No way that pitch is down, defending his own call. The Yankees chirp back, and back and forth we go.
Yeah, and I'd have to side with the Yankees on this one. That pitch was pretty down.
Easy to tell in a 6-7 frame. Four-man outfield against Anthony Rizzo. The pitch, swinging a foul back. That's strike one. Raimel Tapia, George Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, and Whit Merrifield going to the notch in the corner and right. Blue Jays also put Bo Bichette, sank into shallow right field with the left-handed hitter at the plate.
Yeah, enjoy it while you still can. The Blue Jays here committing all kinds of rule violations under the 2023 shift restrictions.
The 0-1. Cruises over at 96 miles an hour, called strike, and it's 0-2.
They don't have two infielders on either side of second base. They don't have all their infielders on the infield dirt. These kind of things will be against the rules next season.
3 significant rule changes implemented by Major League Baseball moving forward next year, and the shift is one of them. The 0-2 to Rizzo. Fisted back foul. No balls and 2 strikes. They will institute bigger bases, but also might make the most change, the most significant impact, especially early next year, the pitch clock.
Mm-hmm.
An accountability clock, if you will, for a pitcher and a batter. Major League Baseball's emphasis, keep the game moving. The 0-2 pitch. A liner out towards Hernandez in that right center field gap. Can't get there in time. It's down for a base hit.
Yeah, with the pitch clock, everyone thinks about the pitcher, but I think it's really going to be a huge adjustment for hitters. You look at a guy in Anthony Rizzo who was just at the plate. He takes his time. He'll step out of the box. He'll adjust the batter's gloves. He'll take a couple practice swings. Next year, he's going to have to be in that box before it's too late.
Ready to go, set by a certain time. If not, a strike could get called on the batter automatically for delaying the game. Minor League Baseball has had this operating for a couple of years. They looked at data from 8,000 different minor league games before making the decision to implement it next year to speed up the pace of play. Gleyber Torres at the plate. Swings and fouls the first pitch back. That's strike one. What's the answer? On average, a minor league game shaved off 26 minutes worth of action. The other little things that are being tinkered with by Major League Baseball as well in the minor leagues, automatic ball strike system. Teams can have a challenge of a ball strike call. How many times can a pitcher throw over? That's also going to be part of the new rules and the pace of play as well at the big league level. 0-1 to Torres. Swing and a miss. Cosmic got the fastball by him at 95.
Yeah, the pitch clock's going to be 15 seconds when bases are empty, 20 when there's a runner on. And when there's a runner on, pitchers can only throw over twice. So once you throw over twice, you know as a base runner, you can't throw over again. You can get a pretty good jump on the pitcher at that point.
Runner at first. The 0-2. Swinging a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Raimel Tapia plays it back in quickly. Station to station for Rizzo. Back-to-back one-out singles.
And as it pertains to hitters, they'll have to be in the batter's box, ready to go with 8 seconds remaining on the clock. So you think about it, 15-second pitch clock between pitches without runners on. You got 7 seconds, and you got to be in that box.
Right, there's no more, let me get comfortable, let me adjust this pad, let me swivel in, swivel out. Josh Donaldson, the batter. Rizzo stands at second. Torres behind him at first. Donaldson's flied to left and bounced to the shortstop. Blue Jays, Yankees, 2-2. This game is in the 6th. The pitch. Donaldson swings and misses.
It's a big moment here for Kevin Gausman to try to keep things deadlocked. He's got one out. He's got runners on first and second. Rough start to his outing. They settled in so nicely through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Try to get through this frame here, this 6th, with the score deadlocked where it is.
0-1, swing and a miss. Good slider going away from the swing of Josh Donaldson. No balls and 2 strikes on the cleanup man for New York.
Gausman's up to 76 pitches. No one warming in the bullpen. No thought from John Schneider or Pete Walker of replacing him here as he gets about halfway through his 3rd trip through the Blue Jays or the Yankees lineup.
Of those 76, only 20 times has he not thrown a strike tonight. First and second for New York. The 0-2 pitch. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a slider from Gausman. Again, it's interesting how often he's throwing that pitch here tonight. Gausman's now thrown it 21 times. He's thrown it more often than his splitter. And obviously his splitter is his primary, secondary offering is his big out pitch. Kind of says something about his confidence in that split tonight.
The 1-2 in the dirt. Stopped in the 5-hole by Jansen.
Yeah, another slider. Kevin Gausman, just something about that splitter he's not loving tonight. He's not leaning on it like he usually does. It's been fastballs and sliders here. Maybe a little something with the thought of maybe I see the Yankees again in the postseason. I don't know. You would expect to see more splitters from Kevin Gausman than we have to this point.
Runners on at first and second. The 2-2 to Donaldson. Chopped off foul at the plate. 2-2 the count. The next pitch will be the 80th from Gausman tonight. And no decision his last time on the bump against the Tampa Bay Rays. Didn't allow a run, struck out 8. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Gausman here in the 6th inning. Now 5 on the ball game for Kevin Gausman. And that's a big one.
That splitter looked really good to Josh Donaldson. I think that, well, I don't know. Sliders setting up splitters from Kevin Gausman. We just haven't seen him pitch this way that much this year. I don't know if something about how he's feeling with his stuff tonight, or maybe it really is just I don't want to show the Yankees everything and I want to confuse them a little bit.
The batter's Giancarlo Stanton. Here's the pitch. Fastball zips in there, a called strike 1.
You know, the velo's been up and down. Like there's 96 from Gausman right there, but we've seen 91s and 92s here as well. It's just a bit of a peculiar outing from him, but look, he's getting the job done. Only 2 runners in.
The 0-1. Stan takes in the dirt.
He's got 2 outs in the 6th.
A run in the first, a run in the second. After the solo home run in inning 2, that was a 2-out solo job by Connor Falefa. Gausman faced the minimum until allowing the 1-out single here in the 6th inning to Rizzo. He's at second. Torres behind him. 2 down, a 2-2 score. 1-1. Drilled out a play to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays, Yankees do it again tomorrow. We'll be across the network at 7 o'clock Eastern. Jose Barrios and Jameson Taillon. 11 wins, 6 losses for Barrios. 13 up, 5 down for Jameson Taillon. One and 2 on Stanton. Gausman brings it home, and he buried it. Shoots off to the left of Danny Jansen. He recovers it quickly. No advance by Rizzo. Blue Jays with Kirk, Chapman, and Hernandez lined up to bat in the 6th. Yankees are already in the bullpen. Gausman stands high, and the 2-2 is low. Didn't miss by much, but that splitter just had enough dive on it to miss the bottom part of the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rizzo and Torres will be in motion. Runners go, 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. He picked the bottom part of the zone. Got him with a slider. Gausman will strike out the side here in the 6th. Yankees leave the go-ahead runs on. Middle of the 6th. It's 2-2 here in Toronto. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good. Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta. I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we're experienced in everything from boilers to furnaces to heat pumps, ductwork, and all. Call 855-1HOUR or visit onehourair.com. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Plus taxes.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Raimel Tapia clears the deck for the 2nd time in the series.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
We're in the 6th inning, being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can bet on things like player props, totals, or money lines across many different sports. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. We're at Rogers Center tonight. The Blue Jays return off the road, open a 3-game series against the New York Yankees. And so far, it's been a good one between the top 2 teams in the American League Eastern Division. Yankees win tonight. They can pop the corks in the champagne. They will clinch the division. The Blue Jays win. They continue to whittle down their magic number. It starts tonight at 4, and the Orioles are in action at Fenway Park. Scott Efros out of the bullpen will take over for New York. And the first pitch, Alejandro Kirk picks the outside corner. That's strike 1. Efros aboard, courtesy of Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. Right-hander's pitch to Kirk. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Orioles and Red Sox, Ben, still in that delay, still stuck in the top of the 3rd inning. We'll see if they can resume that game tonight. It's not deep enough yet to be an official one.
1-1. Slides off the outside corner, but puts Kirk in the hole with a called strike. It's 1-2.
Orioles were up 5-2 when the game was delayed. haven't played a pitch or an inning since.
Don't talk to the Yankees about rain delays. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Kirk takes a little bit outside with the fastball from the sidewinder missing. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays, Yankees tied 2-2. Infield, back outfield, playing straight up. Now time called by Kirk as he backpedals out of the box. Alejandro walked to start the second, walked in that fourth, and now here he is leading off the sixth. The 2-2. Just off the outside corner. Borderline pitch in favor of the Blue Jay DH. Blue Jays with both of the runs scored in a rally that started with base hits by Bichette and Guerrero, then a walk to Alejandro Kirk. A 2-run double by Hernandez. 3-2. Ground ball to the shortstop. 2 hopper handled by Connor Falefa. Sidearm chuck over to first. Kirk's retired. 1 down starting the 6th. We're inside the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth here at Rogers Center. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Matt Chapman strolls in. 1 down, nobody on. Chapman struck out against Luis Severino back in the 2nd inning. And then hit a fly ball to center in the 4th. Takes a called strike from Scott Efros.
Worth noting that in freezing Giancarlo Stanton for the strikeout at the end of the 6th inning, that was Kevin Gausman's 200th strikeout of the season.
He's done it in back-to-back campaigns. 0-1, hit in the air, pretty deep, out to right field. Judge at the wall makes the catch while backpedaling through the warning track. Now, Chapman rarely goes the opposite way with any significant power. That was pretty good wood. Ballpark big enough to hold it in front of that Yankee bullpen.
Yeah, usually pretty dead pull hitter. Matt Chapman is. He goes the opposite way there. Kevin Gausman becomes the 10th pitcher in baseball this year. Strikeout 200. Garrett Cole of these New York Yankees leading the way with 244. Corbin Burns, Carlos Rodon, Dylan Cease, Aaron Nola, and Shohei Ohtani all up there.
Blue Jays will see Garrett Cole on Wednesday night. Here's Teoscar. Swings at the first pitch. Bounding ball over the third base bag. That's fair. Straddling the line. Donaldson Fields throws to first in time to retire Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Down in order here in the 6th. Shifts us to the 7th. We're tied 2-2. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Blake's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in.
Back to the Grubhub Spelling Bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woo-hoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
My world is about making the play.
My world is all about keeping you informed.
My world is about the perfect cut.
Illinois Media School
makes my world
possible.
If you have a passion for media, on air or behind the scenes, Illinois Media School can give you the hands-on training you need in as little as 8 months. You can get paid to create. Call now and learn from the pros to be a pro. Visit beonair.com or call 630-916-1700. 630-916-1700.
That bell means there's a new tire store in West Chicago, Bell Tire. It also means you'll get up to $200 off a set of 4 tires at our grand opening sale. We want you to come get tires, but we don't want you to come back until you have to. That's why Bell Tire will give you up to $200 off 4 tires, plus more free lifetime tire services to help you get more out of your tires. $200 off 4 tires. What are you waiting for? Come get the lowest tire price, period, at Bell Tire. See store at belltire.com for details. Now open on West North Avenue.
How's your mental health? I'm listening. with Katy Perry.
There's a lot of natural tools to be able to use to combat depression and anxiety. I do things like meditation and conversation with other friends. We've all had to face a lot of things. I do believe that you can get through it. It's not always easy, but you can.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
Postseason, quarter season ticket memberships is a great way to go. Get one today and guarantee 2022 postseason access ahead of the public sale on Wednesday. Plus, quarter season ticket memberships come with great benefits. Visit bluejays.com/quarter seasons. Seventh inning, Oswaldo Cabrera, the rookie, leads it off against Kevin Gausman in a 2-2 game. First pitch zips over a fastball at 93 miles an hour, called strike one on Cabrera. Cabrera, Bader, Kiner-Falefa. 0-1. Popped up behind the plate. This will clear the screen and land in the stands. No balls and 2 strikes on Cabrera. Yankees scored a run in the first and the second. The Blue Jays equaled the score with a 2-run double off the center field wall when the bases were loaded. Teoscar Hernandez thought he had a grand slam. It hit the very top edge of the fence. Stayed in play. Blue Jays tied the game. 0-2. In the air up the left field line, twisting towards the corner. Tapia over next to the screen, watches it land in the fourth row. No balls and 2 strikes on Oswaldo Cabrera. Blue Jays are in their final 9. 3 against the New York Yankees. A 3-game series here at Rogers Center Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Boston Red Sox. Then the regular season series that'll close it all up could be very significant for the Orioles and the Blue Jays. It's in Baltimore. The 0-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, lined into left field, a base hit. Cabrera's got a leadoff knock to start the 7th.
And Gausman can't be upset about the shift on that one because there was no shift behind him. The Blue Jays were playing Cabrera straight up. Gausman now into the 7th inning for the 10th time this season. Only 90 pitches to this point, 65 for strikes. Adam Simber is warming in the bullpen, but Gausman could easily throw another 10, 15 pitches in this inning if the Blue Jays want him to.
He's really not had innings of duress at all tonight. First 2 got on to begin the ball game for the New York Yankees. The sacrifice fly got the run in. Pitch is low on Bader. That's ball 1. A 2-out solo home run by Kiner-Falefa. They issued a walk, open up the 3rd inning, got a double play ball on the very next pitch from Anthony Rizzo. Put it in cruise control the rest of the way through the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. A little bit of trouble in the 6th. Runners were left at 1st and 2nd. 1-0 to Bader, has to wait. A check on the runner over at 1st and Cabrera. Two-2 game. Top of the 7th. Long hold by Gausman. Now to the plate. And it's fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's a little bit more than 20 seconds on that one.
That might be a byproduct of the runner and the threat of a stolen base. Cabrera, really not an afterburner at all. He does have double figures in the stolen base department in the minor leagues a couple of times, maxing out at 21 in the 2021 season. Does have 1 big league stolen base. That's an important run. A 2-2 score. Nobody out. The pitch. Fouled away at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's going to be interesting to watch this inning develop and play out here. Pete Walker, John Schneider, they have Adam Simber up in the bullpen, so they got somebody in mind. This Yankees lineup is lousy with right-handers tonight, so we'll see which matchup it is they like for Simber. Don't know how much you like Simber against Aaron Judge. I don't know how much you like anybody against Aaron Judge right now.
The entire baseball world's been trying to figure that out this season. 1-2 the count. Another move to first. Good tag applied by Guerrero. That was a close one. Vladdy put that right down on the wallet on the dive back by Cabrera, and his hands were floating over near first base. He's called safe. The Blue Jays reacting like the crowd. With a lot of oohs and a quick snapback by John Schneider. Casey Candell checking in with the video room. They say they will not review, so play will continue uninterrupted.
It's Bader at the plate right now, then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Jose Trevino, and then Judge. So we'll see what the Blue Jays want to do as this inning progresses.
If you go to Simber, you have to go to, you don't like the matchup against Judge, you got to go to him against Bader. He has to face 3.
Mm-hmm.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Bader's down on strikes. And here comes John Schneider. So this is the move. If you don't get a double play ball, this would qualify Adam Simber to face Aaron Judge. So that'll be the matchup after our Certainteed pitching change. It's brought to you by Certainteed Pro all the way. Is it, though? John Schneider is in conversation with Kevin Gausman, and now he pats the right-hander on the backside.
Yeah, I didn't see him make the motion as he was heading out there, and then Schneider had a quick conversation with Kevin Gausman and then made the motion from the pitcher's mound. So clearly he wanted to give his starter the opportunity to stay in. I guess Kevin Gausman said, no, I agree with you, Skip. Let's go to the bullpen.
2-run work over 6 1/3 for Kevin Gausman. A pitching change with Adam Simber jogging in. That means we're going back to baseball control and to visit with Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. This pitching change brought to you by Certainteed Pro all the way. Before we get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, some audio to listen to. Blue Jays starting pitcher Ross Stripling was on with Ben Ennis earlier today on the Fan Drive Time. Here's Ben and Ross discussing the idea of how to pitch to Aaron Judge with the big man on the cusp of history.
I don't necessarily know the stats, but I feel like we've held him relatively in check all year. I can remember 2 home runs, so that's kind of a win when you think that he's hit 60. You know, it's interesting to think as a pitcher, I can only speak for myself. I would likely, one of my best friends in baseball, Michael Wacha for the Red Sox, just pitched against him a couple days ago, and I watched, basically didn't throw him a strike. And it's kind of hard to say that I wouldn't do the same. It's not because I don't want to be a part of history. It's just kind of because he's the biggest piece of that offense, and you don't want to give up runs. And if you can keep him in check, you can kind of pitch to the other guys. And that's kind of what you're thinking. And then, you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, if he does hit it, I'm going to be all over social media. I'm going to be all over, you know, the highlights for years to come. So that's part of it for sure. But really, I think when the lights are on, you're between the lines, you're thinking, you know, how do I get through this lineup? And the way to get through the Yankees the best is typically to not give Aaron Judge much to hit.
That is Jays pitcher Ross Stripling with Ben Ennis on the Fan Drive Time on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Very light slate across baseball tonight. Only 4 total games this evening. Baltimore Orioles in Boston to take on the Red Sox. Orioles lead 5-2 at Fenway Park. Cedric Mullins with a home run and a 2 RBI triple. Jorge Mateo also with an RBI double for Boston. JD Martinez has a solo home run, but that game is in a rain delay in Beantown. Braves up on the Nationals 8-0. Reds at Pirates tied at 2. That's the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Let's get you back down to Rogers Center on the other side of downtown Toronto. Ben Wagner and Arden Zwelling.
A 73rd appearance for Adam Simber this season. He matches up against Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, a pitch out made by Danny Jansen, who jumped out of the crouch. That ball had the vicinity of home plate still, but it's taken high for ball 1. There's no advance by the runner at first. That's Oswaldo Cabrera. He started this 7th inning with a base hit. The Yankees and the Blue Jays are tied 2-2. Kiner-Falefa made it 2-0 New York with a solo home run in the 2nd. The pitch. Darts over for a called strike. That's the fastball. Fastball slider combination. The Blue Jays very comfortable all season long, placing Simber righty on righty, of course, with that sidewinding action. But also, he's been very effective against left-handed batters. Another move towards first.
Those 73 appearances give Simber the MLB lead in appearances this year among pitchers. Cleveland's Emmanuel Clase now in second at 72.
I mean, he's nuts. He not only leads or has majority of the season had the lead in appearances. Simber's slider spins outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. He's also led the American League for the majority of the season in saves.
39 on the season for Class A. Be interesting to see how much he's used down the stretch now that Cleveland's clinched the AL Central.
Runner from first goes. The pitch put in play. Weak tapper towards third. Charging in. Big hop handled by Chapman. Throw to first in time. Connor Falefa hit that ball weakly on the left side of the diamond. A kind hop out of the turf for Matt Chapman that accelerated the exchange and a chance to throw out Connor Falefa. But Cabrera, uncontested after being put in motion, now stands in scoring position with 2 out.
Yeah, not a bad idea by the Yankees putting on the hit and run there with Simber. Simber gives up a ton of contact. He's on the plate a lot. It's pretty easy to put his stuff in play. His fastball's 85. So the Yankees trying to stay out of the double play there, and they do. Really, they're trying to get this inning to Aaron Judge. We'll see if Jose Trevino can get it to him.
Trevino is 0 for 2. He struck out and lined out to center. A runner at second takes off for third. No coverage of the bag. Tiptoeing in, it goes Cabrera without the throw. Chapman was playing back, never made movement towards third base. When Jansen jumped out of the crouch behind the batter Trevino, Chapman had his hands up like he was a third base coach throwing up a stop sign.
Yeah, Cabrera stole that off Simber. He got a huge jump.
Pitch Trevino, way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Don't think there would have been much sense for Danny Jansen and Matt Chapman to even make an attempt at third there. I mean, Cabrera was so far off second base. He easily pedaled into third.
A ball and a strike. 2 outs. The pitch. Ground ball right back to Simber. He stabs it. Underhand over to first to retire the side, leaving a Yankee at third base with the go-ahead run. Simber with the spear absolutely loves it. Out of another jam so many times this season, Simber stranding a runner 90 feet away from pay dirt. In downtown Toronto, it's time to stretch. Midway through the 7th, tied at 2. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Back to the Grubhub Spelling Bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Katy Perry.
There's a lot of natural tools to be able to use to combat depression and anxiety. You know, I do things like meditation and conversation with other friends. We've all had to face a lot of things. I do believe that you can get through it. It's not always easy, but you can.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
Ready to improve your bottom line? The Room can match you with a top financial analyst. Trusted by small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, The Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Up here at Rogers Center, we're tied 2-2. Raimel Tapia, Danny Jansen, and Whit Merrifield, the last third of the order, batting against Ron Marinaccio. Rookie right-hander out of the bullpen for the New York Yankees. This ball game sitting 2-2 after it was 2-0 New York. Oscar Hernandez nearly took one out of the ballpark. He thought he had a grand slam. He did that classic follow through, a little admiration. Softly discarded the bat, but then watched the ball hit the top of the wall. Blue Jays scored Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We've been 2-2 since the fourth. Marinaccio will face the left-handed batting Raimel Tapia. Right-hander straightens high. And the pitch on the outside corner called strike one. Raimel has basically been playing every day in the absence of Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Lourdes has been on the injured list since the Blue Jays were in Baltimore. The 0-1, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., when lunging for the bag when the Blue Jays were in Baltimore at the beginning of September, pulled his hamstring. Spent the last week down in Dunedin working out at the player development complex, then joined the Blue Jays at Tropicana Field over the weekend. Did some active warm-up, did some running very lightly, about 70%. Did the traditional straight sprints, started to work in some arcing to mimic running the bases. It's a big week for Lourdes. The 0-2. Broken back grounder, clears the mound, charging it at short. Next to the bag, Connor Falefa's got it. Throw to first in time. That'll retire Tapia. Injury report brought to you by Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life is throwing you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. Your cleanup hitters. Visit bplawyers.ca. Might see Lourdes Gurriel Jr. by the end of the week. It'll be a little bit of time before we see Santiago Espinal, Blue Jays second baseman. Had an oblique issue creep up in Philadelphia. He alerted the training staff when he felt a little discomfort. They shut him down. Pitch to Danny Jansen. Kicks off the top of the mound. Out of the reach of Torres, the second baseman, into center field, a base hit. A one-out base runner for Toronto here in the seventh.
And, it's interesting with Lourdes, Ben, because he hasn't played in so long. The Blue Jays don't want to just throw him back in to a major league game in the thick of a playoff race, but they're running out a minor league season with which to get him a rehab assignment. Buffalo's season at AAA ends on Wednesday. Today is Monday. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is still working through that running progression that you described. He hasn't run the bases yet. Blue Jays are running out of opportunities to get him into an actual live game before his return to the big league level.
They would like to get him into a competitive atmosphere, and you could do that at AAA, but you got to do it within the next 48 hours like you're talking about. Here's Whit Merrifield. He fouls the pitch back for strike one. Now, you could replicate it with a number of minor leaguers that are still at the player development complex down in Florida, but that certainly won't be the same kind of atmosphere or game speed that you would like to see in some venue. Competitive nature. That's the thing. You want to get Lourdes and the juices flowing.
Yeah, you can get him some live batting practice against guys in Dunedin. You can get him simulating running the bases, going first to third hard.
The 0-1. Anthony's on the inside edge, and it's 0-2.
It's just not the same as a game environment. It's not the same as feeling that anxiety stepping in the box against a pitcher in a real live game who's really trying to get you out with fans in the stands, with the atmosphere. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is going to have some hurdles when he gets back to the Blue Jays lineup to overcome.
Plenty of that atmosphere tonight. 34,000 plus. Very raucous. Blue Jays. Yankees tied at 2. 0-2. Merrifield loops it up the right field line. Fading, foul. A little looper just drifting halfway up the line in right. Just had enough slice on it to take it foul. Merrifield might have cracked the cup end of his bat.
Yeah, this game's been a little too close, a little too tense for this crowd's liking. I think they'd rather Blue Jays were able to open it up here against the Yankees bullpen. But this is what the baseball is going to be down the stretch, Ben. This is what it's going to be into the postseason. close, tight affairs. The pitching gets so good this time of year. Offense reliably goes down in late September and into October. The game tightens up. The game plans get more specified. Everyone knows your weaknesses. Everyone's tired. Everyone's had this marathon that they've run. This is the kind of tight competitive baseball we're going to see a lot of over the next couple of weeks.
September is driven on adrenaline. Blue Jays and Yankees in the thralls of a postseason push. Tied at 2. We're in the 7th. A runner at first. Witt's got a new piece of lumber in his hand. That last bat had a whole bunch of hits in it coming out of the Trop as well. Had a huge series against the Tampa Bay Rays, including 3 home runs. Go ahead run with Jano on at first. The 0-2 is flicked away foul off to the right. A little start and stop from Danny Jansen. Trying to plant himself at least in the back of the mind of Ron Marinaccio. A 27-year-old right-hander, Jersey born. Drafted in 2017. The 0-2 to Merrifield, swinging a foul back. A little jitterbug. Danny Jansen over there still at first base, moving back and forth. He's gone a couple of times and then powered down.
Trying to create a little chaos, trying to add another variable to this inning for the Yankees. Maybe Blue Jays feel that these Yankees relievers have been a little too comfortable. Trevino and Efros cruised through their innings. Now they're going to try to get in the rookie's head a little bit.
The 0-2. Witt takes down and away.
You know, a low-key benefit of that play that Adam Simber made at the end of the top of the 7th there to keep Aaron Judge in the on-deck circle. John Schneider gets to line up his matchup for Aaron Judge. Looks like Jimmy Garcia is going to be the guy who gets the assignment.
Garcia in the bullpen just gave everybody the thumbs up. He's good to go. He's going to watch the Blue Jays battle at the plate. And Merrifield, defensive swing, fouls another away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Whit Merrifield, who's batting 9th tonight.
And you get Judge leading off an inning for the 4th time tonight. All 4 of his plate appearances made leading off an inning without runners on base. That is huge for a guy who is one of the best hitters with runners in scoring position in baseball.
Blue Jays have a runner at first in a 2-2 game. The 1-2. Bounce on the ground towards the hole. Backhanded picked up by Connor Falefa. Short toss to second, and it is in time. Jansen sits at second, stunned. Casey Candell presses the horn to his ear, covers up the right so he can hear, and the fans are going to react because the Blue Jays waste little time about asking for a review.
Looked like a questionable ruling to the naked eye. We'll take a look at the replays as they come in here at Rogers Center. Laz Diaz putting in his earpiece. Looked like Danny Jansen had enough time to get there. Little bobble on the exchange. Oh, Danny Jansen's in. Danny Jansen is in by a foot. This call ought to be overturned.
And look with the naked eye that Jano was safe. Certainly beats the throw. The only question is if Jano rolled that right knee over the bag and somehow separated himself and left contact, but we just got a great shot from Sportsnet TV. There's no chance. Danny Jansen is safe, 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 safe.
I've been surprised before, but I expect this will be overturned. There was a bit of a bobble by Kiner Falefa in getting the ball to second, and I think that gave Danny Jansen just enough time to get in there.
Remember, it's a force out that the Yankees were looking for. So the ball, did it hit the glove before Danny Jansen arrived on top of the bag? And clearly the answer was no. Let's find out. You know the answer. Danny Jansen is safe with a go-ahead run at second base. Clearly a little trouble with the microphone with the crew chief, Las Diaz, in communication, thankfully, though, cleanly with New York. We just didn't get what the umpires were relaying here in the ballpark, but they've been so great doing all season long. That's a rare blip from the umpire crew with their microphone malfunctioning on the field. After the safe call, Danny Jansen stands at second. The runner at first is Whit Merrifield on the fielder's choice. Aaron Boone is out. He's going to make a pitching change. Brought to you by Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. We are tied at 2. The Blue Jays are threatening in the 7th with 2 on and 1 out as we go back to baseball control and visit with Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, some audio to listen to. Today was Raptors Media Day, and as many are aware, the Raptors often play their preseason schedule across Canada at different venues. Here's Raptors president Masai Ujiri discussing what that means to showcase the team across the country.
I think that tour has been good for us, in years past, and it's now the feeling of our team. Like we feel like we are Canada's team. We feel like we're a global team. So to touch all these cities, whether it's training camp in Victoria or playing in Edmonton or Montreal, want to feel, like the people of Canada, because we know of the support. Then it's been a couple years, we've been able to do stuff like this because of obviously COVID and the restrictions. But now we get back to normal, a tradition that we've had for many years here, and we're excited about it. And I think it's important for our team and our fans to see us in different places.
That is Raptors president Masai Ujiri speaking to the media earlier today on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Monday Night Football on this evening in the NFL, an NFC East matchup between the Cowboys and Giants in New York. Dallas leading 6-3 in the second quarter. Giants having also blocked a second Cowboys field goal. And an update on that Orioles-Red Sox game. Orioles do lead 5-2 at Fenway Park, and that game is set to resume in Boston at 9:45 p.m. Eastern, 6:45 p.m. Pacific. So in about 13 minutes. That's a St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Back to Rogers Center we go. Here's Ben and Arden.
All right, thanks so much, Show. Here at Rogers Center, we've been buttoned up tonight because of rainy conditions outside, and the fans are dry and certainly treated to a good one between the Yankees and the Blue Jays opening up this 3-game series. Yankees had a 2-0 lead. The Blue Jays tied in the 4th inning. We sit 2-2 here in the 7th. And here comes Mr. Clutch in the fall, George Springer. Blue Jays with runners on at first and second. Springer is hitless tonight, going 0 for 3. Jonathan Loaizaga reaches back and deals. And the first pitch, a fastball at 98 miles an hour, called strike 1. Springer had a 3-hit, 2-homer day yesterday to wrap up the road trip for Toronto. Had 4 extra base hits through Philly and the Trop. The 0-1 taken high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Exactly the guy who you want up if you're the Toronto Blue Jays in this situation. George Springer just elevates his game in these late inning clutch spots, tie ball games, late September ball games, October ball games. George Springer has an .895 OPS in 63 playoff games, Ben.
The 1-1. Swing at a foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. George Springer, in that run through the postseason with the Houston Astros, has played in as many postseason games as an individual as this franchise has played in. 63
playoff games, 19 homers in those 63 games. He's got 350 on base, a 546 slug. He has been a clutch performer in the playoffs for the Houston Astros. Toronto Blue Jays hoping to see some of that this October.
He is the reason that this franchise went out and got him, because of that postseason prowess. Go-ahead run stands at second in a 2-2 game here in the 7th. Loaizaga deals, a swing and a miss by Springer, and he's down on strikes. Couldn't reach 99 miles an hour from Loaizaga. 2 away.
Yeah, we tried to will it into existence, Ben. Didn't quite get the Hollywood ending that we were looking for, but here's Bo Bichette, who's had some really nice plate appearances tonight. Remember the single on the 10th pitch of the plate appearance in the 4th, went the other way again in the 5th, couple of opposite field hits, for Bo Bichette. What else is new? Seems like that's what he does every night. He's got a chance to break this game open right now.
The pitch to Bo. Cracked away, foul at the plate for strike 1. We were trying to will that Hollywood ending with George Springer. I mean, if the California Cool is our next theme, this is the guy. Bo Bichette, got the hair flowing out from underneath the batting helmet, cascading over the shoulders. He has looked cool, calm, and collected the entire month of September. Nobody has hit for a better average, produced more extra base hits, 7 home runs this month, and the most RBIs as well in the month of September in the game. 2-1 for the Blue Jays in a 2-2 score. The 0-1. Bichette rolls it foul outside first base. Behind 0-2.
Everybody in the Blue Jays dugout up on the top step right now watching this plate appearance. Bo Bichette's got himself a big opportunity here to come through with a really big hit and electrify this late September crowd at Rogers Center.
He got him noisy his last time up as he battled away 10 pitches in the at-bat before he singled in the 5th. A 2-hit night for Bo Bichette. A go-ahead run stands at second. Loizaga's 0-2. Popped him up the right field line, twisting towards the corner next to the screen. Foul. Avoids Aaron Judge. Avoids Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, Anthony Rizzo. All kind of going after that lazy fly ball up the right field line. Bo Bichette, a classic battling approach for the young Blue Jay shortstop.
The 2-strike approach for Bo Bichette keeps that leg kick down, keeps that left foot on the dirt, just kind of twists the ankle and goes to work. Fouls off your best pitches, gets the bat to the ball, looks for something that he can take to the opposite field. That's what he's looking to do.
Judge will lead off in the 8th. Blue Jays trying to claim the lead here in the 7th. Now Loizaga steps off. Goes Danny Jansen, who had the 1-out single. Slid into second after review. The call reversed. He stands safely in scoring position. Whit Merrifield behind him. 2 down. Last of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. Outside.
And Bo really raises his game with runners on. Nearly a 900 OPS with runners on base for Bo Bichette in his career. These moments, doesn't get too fast for him, doesn't speed up on him. He's going to look to put the ball in play somewhere and make something happen.
Go ahead run in scoring position. The 1-2. Ground ball right back up the middle. Bobbled by Loizaga. Recovers with the bare hand. Throws to first just in time to get the out. He bobbled, he juggled, he found it, and then threw to first to get the out and retire the side. Blue Jays do not score. Lead 2-1. We go to the 8th. Tied 2-2. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Back to the Grubhub Spelling Bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game.
They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Of Ontario.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Into the front row, and it goes! The Blue Jays have gone back to back!
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Great to have you alongside for Blue Jays baseball tonight. We are at Rogers Center. Austin Mackey, Tom Young at baseball control tonight. Show Ali with the co-host of At the Letters podcast, Art Swelling. I'm Ben Wagner. It's the 8th inning from our Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. The Blue Jays and the Yankees are tied at 2. Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire, went back for a new bag of balls. They are individually marked for every Aaron Judge at bat. He is 1 home run away from matching an American League single-season home run record. He sits on 60. It's been 6 decades since an American League slugger has flirted with the record held by Roger Maris from 1961. Judge tonight is 1 for 2 with a walk. He singled and scored back in the first. Jimmy Garcia, the new Blue Jay pitcher, to face him. The right-hander deals, swing and a miss, strike 1. The 4th time tonight, Aaron Judge has led off an inning. All 4 of his plate appearances have started at bat for New York. This pitching change is brought to you by Certainteed Pro all the way. 0-1. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's see what kind of fastball Jimmy Garcia has. Over the weekend, we saw a couple of ticks higher in velocity. He hasn't been able to land the curveball recently. The 1-1. Judge takes outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Those first pitch breaky balls, you got the curveball, you got the slider. Regardless of the fastball velocity, Jimmy has really liked to land those breaking balls for a first pitch strike. Now he's behind 2-1. The pitch. Judge tracks it low, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Judge is so patient and so disciplined. Think about how much pressure is riding on every trip to the plate for him right now in this home run chase, and he is reliably getting himself into hitters' counts, not expanding, waiting for his pitch.
3-1, swing and miss. It's 3-2. Garcia got the slider underneath the cut of Aaron Judge. He comes back to Laz Diaz, likely checking to see if that pitch would have been called a strike if he wouldn't have swung. It's on the bottom part of the zone.
And I think it would have. It's right down at the bottom of that zone, and for a guy of Aaron Judge's height, those low pitches there often get called.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Garcia straightens high. The pitch. Judge bounces it back.
But it is the impressive thing about him, because think about it, everybody in the baseball world is watching this guy's ABs right now, and he is just so composed and so patient. With such presence. Here he is again in a full count.
Walks second most in Major League Baseball this season. Only Juan Soto with 131 has walked more. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Second time Judge has gone in the glove tonight. 1 down in the 8th.
Yeah, nice job by Jimmy Garcia not giving in, not flipping something up and over the juicy part of the plate for a very dangerous hitter. He stayed to the edges, stayed right at the bottom of the zone where you can exploit Aaron Judge. You can get him at the bottom of the zone with off-speed stuff. Jimmy Garcia got him with a bunch of sliders down at the bottom of the zone.
Goes back in what I was talking about with Danny Jansen before the ball game as well. What is the success, the recipe that the Blue Jays have had? Pitch to Anthony Rizzo. Fastball high from Garcia for ball 1. And he said it's not necessarily about one individual pitch. It's about all the pitches and the pitch execution. And Jimmy Garcia looked very good, especially over the sequence of those last 3 or 4 pitches on Aaron Judge. 1 down, top of the 8th. Pitch to Rizzo. Runs inside. Did it nick his leg? It did. Got him with a slider. Maybe just peeled the pant leg.
Yeah, I think you're bang on about Garcia and his approach against Judge there, because earlier in the plate appearance, he was yanking the slider. He was missing well off the plate. And then later on, pitches 5, 6, and 7 of the at-bat, he was just right at the bottom of the zone, right along the block there. Nothing Aaron Judge could do with that pitch. He was able to foul one of them off, round return, and looked to Laz Diaz. Said, is that going to be a strike? Probably was going to be. Jimmy Garcia went back to that spot, got his 3rd swinging strike.
Tied at 2 here in the 8th. Gleyber Torres, the batter. Pitch by Garcia. Half swing by Torres. Carries the bat through. That's a strike. And it's 0-1. Torres had the sacrifice fly that made it 1-0 New York. Officially 1 for 2. Bounce to second. And the 6th he singled was left by Kevin Gausman. 0-1. That's up maybe a little outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Torres once again has found that power surge for the first time since 2019. That was a huge year for Gleyber Torres, where he bashed 38 home runs. His rookie season, he fell to 24. 1-1. Fastball's high. 2 balls and 1 strike. 24 home runs this season, now 71 driven in. Single in the 6th inning, made it 19 consecutive games that Torres has been aboard. We're tied at 2 in the 8th. The 2-1. On the outside corner, called strike. 2-2. Go-ahead run stands at first. Garcia leans over his shoulder, looks in at Rizzo. The 2-2 to the plate. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. Second strikeout for Garcia here in the 8th. More of a mixed reaction. Not exactly the reception we've heard from Josh Donaldson and his travels through Rogers Center with other teams. Now he is a New York Yankee. This is September, and the postseason push is certainly on. Go-ahead run stands at first. The pitch. Donaldson rolls it foul. Past the first base bag for strike 1.
It's been a nice outing so far for Jimmy Garcia. He'd given up earned runs in each of his last 4. Scuffling a little bit. You mentioned the fastball and the velo, and maybe just hitting a little bit of a dead spot in the season late here for Jimmy Garcia, but he's been coming after these Yankees hitters. He's done a nice job to this point. See if he can get Josh Donaldson, get his team back in the dugout, middle of the 8th.
Runner takes off from first, pitches high. Here's the throw by Jansen, down to the bag, and it's in time! Book him, Jano! Rizzo caught stealing, put in motion with a go-ahead run, drilled at second base. And the Yankees say, go on. Donaldson left at the dish. Middle of the 8th, 2-2 score at Rogers Center. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic.
ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Looking for stories about Black culture, Black news, all Black everything? Then listen and subscribe to the podcast Beyond Black History Month. From influential newsmakers like Soledad O'Brien.
I try to use Twitter to explain this thing is not good, but let me explain to you why it's not good. And let's talk about what framing is.
To why Game of Thrones fans can believe in dragons, but not a Black Targaryen. Or Valerion, technically. Find Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
I'm Matt Spiegel, and I'm the host of the brand new podcast, Beat the Streak Daily. Every weekday this Major League season, I will update the state of Beat the Streak. The rules are simple. Each day, pick one or two players you think will get a hit. And if they do, your streak continues. Sounds doable, right? But so far, it's been impossible to win. And with millions of dollars on the line, no one has ever gotten to 56. Subscribe now to Beat the Streak Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, and play Beat the Streak for your chance to win $5.6 million.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Blue Jays trying to, again, shave off number by number by number on their magic number, take a breath and secure a postseason berth. Every play matters, including the last one by Danny Jansen, cutting down the go-ahead run in motion at second base. Now Vladdy leads off the home eighth, and the pitch, a fastball taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Jonathan Loaizaga staying aboard, pitching in relief for the Yankees. Blue Jays, Yankees tied 2-2. The right-hander brings it home. Guerrero pulls it sharply towards third. Backhanded right on top of the line. Chapman sets up and throws to first in time. Guerrero thrown out, 5-3. I think I said Chapman, but obviously it's Josh Donaldson over at third base. That'll bring up Alejandro Kirk. What else is on the line? Let's look at our standings update brought to you by Bet365. Just download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Mention the chance to clinch the division. That's where the standings start with the New York Yankees. The pitch to Kirk. Takes a slider in for a called strike one. Wild card with the Blue Jays, the Rays, and the Mariners. Those are the three teams that the postseason begins. Yes, there are 8 to play from here on out. But if the postseason started today, those 3 teams would be in, and the Blue Jays would host a best of 3. 0-1. Ground ball to the right side. Deep at the position is Gleyber Torres. From the turf, throws to first. Kirk retired. 2 down.
Yeah, if you're the Blue Jays, you just have to hold serve at this point. If you can go through these final 10 days of the season and not let those 2 teams gain any ground on you, you are going to host a wild card series here over Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. However, you drop a few games, Seattle gets hot, the Rays play a couple games better, Blue Jays might be looking at heading out on the road.
Mariners had an absolute meltdown in Kansas City yesterday. They shoot 5 walks in 1 frame. Royals scored 11. Matt Chapman, the hitter. Here's the pitch. Fastball in the outside corner, strike 1. Mariners have only won 3 times in the last 10 ball games. They are not playing their best baseball headed down the stretch.
And they haven't exactly had tough quality of competition over that stretch either.
And they won't the rest of the way either. Mariners scheduled with the Rangers, the Athletics, and Detroit for the Final 4. We're tied at 2. Loaizaga deals. Chapman pounds it into the ground, deep in the hole. It's short, backhanded by Connor Falefa. Bounce onto first, not in time. Infield knock again. Matt Chapman's turn.
Yeah, Isaiah Kiner Falefa's clock at short has just been off all night, hasn't it, Ben? Think about how many balls we've seen hit to him that have been bobbled, where his throw to first has been a little bit late. This one doesn't even make it halfway to first before it skips along the infield turf. And Matt Chapman running hard out of the box. He has sneaky speed. You don't expect it from him, but he's a faster guy, and I think people realize he beats this one out.
And he understands the moment, too. Ball deep in the hole. Hey, I might be able to score if this guy plugs the gap. Teoscar Hernandez at the plate once again. A go-ahead run aboard for Toronto at first with 2 down. Hernandez takes a slider low, ball 1.
You think about Guerrero beating out the infield single on the scorcher to Kiner Falefa. You think about the slide at second for Danny Jansen. Kiner Falefa couldn't get the ball to second in time to get him. The clock defensively for Kiner Falefa has just been off at short all night.
The 1-0. Hernandez takes inside. 2 balls and no strikes. That hustle with Vladdy that you're talking about set up one of the 2 runs for the Blue Jays back in the 4th inning. Bo went the opposite way in his 10-pitch at bat. And then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. picked up the infield single. Alejandro Kirk walked. And then Teoscar Hernandez crushed that 2-run double that nearly went out for a grand slam. Blue Jays tied the game 2-2, and that's where we sit now in the 8th. The 2-0. Hernandez fouls it back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Teoscar's 10 for his last 27. Jumping out of a 10 for 52 slide.
Yeah, and I don't care how far Teoscar Hernandez hits his next ball, he's going to need to get out of the box quickly after what happened on that double off the top of the center field wall. He was barely out of the batter's box by the time the ball fell.
1 for 3 tonight. The 2-1. Line drive in the middle of the diamond. Short hop spear by Torres. Makes the throw to first to retire Hernandez and the Blue Jays. He hit it hard. The Olay by Torres. He got it to stick in the pocket of his glove and retire this side. No runs. A base hit. A man left. We're going to the 9th, and we're tied at 2. This is Blue Jays baseball as the lights go down and the show starts for Jordan Romano, who will take over in a 2-2 game in the 9th. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks across the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good. Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
That bell means there's a new tire store in Yorkville, Bell Tire. It also means you'll get up to $200 off a set of 4 tires at our grand opening sale. We want you to come get tires, but we don't want you to come back until you have to. That's why Bell Tire will give you up to $200 off 4 tires, plus more free lifetime tire services to help you get more out of your tires. $200 off 4 tires. What are you waiting for? Come get the lowest tire price, period, at Bell Tire. See store at belltire.com for details. Now open on Market View Drive.
This is Blue Jays baseball.
Okay, let's go, Blue Jays. Let's play ball.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Well, the atmosphere tonight is certainly very familiar of October at Rogers Center. We have had a great ball game. The fans have been on every pitch. And they went to a fevered pitch when Jordan Romano came jogging out of the left field bullpen in this pitching change, brought to you by Certainty Pro all the way. The Yankees and the Blue Jays are tied 2-2. This might not be the matchup in a couple of weeks that the Blue Jays will have, but the energy might be a showcase between these two teams of a couple of weeks from now in the divisional series. Romano's first pitch to Josh Donaldson is a fastball called high, check swing by JD. Appeal to first. He didn't go around. It's a ball one. Donaldson was left at the plate after Danny Jansen caught Anthony Rizzo trying to steal at second base. So his at-bat starts fresh. The Blue Jays go to the closer in the ninth. A swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Ben, my kingdom to see one of those Jordan Romano entrances in the postseason here with a packed-out Rogers Center. Can you imagine the energy of that?
I've been waiting on it. Yeah.
Been a couple years?
I have been imagining. 1-1. On the inside corner, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball strike. 1-2. I know this. The electricity built in the building with a Romano postseason appearance certainly will drown out any of the muttering that he's given himself. Staring down at the toes of his shoes. Now he looks off into the rafters at Rogers Center. Picks up the target, the 1-2. In the air up the right field line. That'll drift off into the 200 level. A long foul ball off the bat of Donaldson.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 34,000 here tonight, and it's still pretty hair-raising when the lights go down and you get the music going and he's slowly jogging in from left. I can only imagine what it would be like in a postseason game with 40,000 plus.
Donaldson looks out. Romano comes in, and he spikes the slider. It's 2-2. Donaldson, Stanton, Cabrera. 4, 5, and 6 in the New York order. It's a 2-2 game. Clay Holmes is loosening to pitch against the Blue Jays in the ninth. Raimel Tapia, Danny Jansen, and Whit Merrifield scheduled to bat. The 2-2. Donaldson takes inside. Backup slider that he was bracing for impact on. Luckily, the spin avoided the buttons on the jersey of Donaldson.
Yeah, Romano lost the handle on that slider. He needs to be locating that thing away from Donaldson. Backed up on him, nearly hit the Yankees third baseman.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. One down in the ninth.
Yeah, that's where Jordan Romano wants to throw his slider, down and away from the dangerous right-handed hitter. Interesting to see Romano starting Donaldson with 4 fastballs. He'd been so slider heavy for a while there in recent September outings. Now we're seeing him get back to the heater a bit more often. We saw one at 99.6 miles per hour in that at bat against Donaldson. Romano's got a strikeout.
There's Giancarlo Stanton. Takes a fastball up and away, ball one. And part of the reason that Romano might have been a little creaky recently is because of that slider usage. Teams are just waiting on it and looking to attack it. The 1-0 pitch. A fastball touch low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Stanton. Stanton is 0 for 3 tonight. Gausman got him looking. Gausman got him swinging. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Stanton. A man that owns 28 home runs for New York.
Yeah, Romano really likes his slider. He's really happy with where he's gotten that pitch to. He feels like if he locates it down and away from a righty that they can't touch it, that it's going to be an out.
The 2-1 outside.
But when you're using it as heavily as he was, it can be a little bit problematic, and it can give hitters a little bit of an advantage. Romano needs to mix in those inside heaters to make the slider really effective.
The 3-1. Half swing and a foul shot over the Yankee dugout. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the ninth inning, a 2-2 game. 1 out. Nobody on. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts in the ninth for Romano.
There's the slider again. You see when you set it up nicely with the fastball, as Romano did in that plate appearance against Stanton, the slider is that much more effective. He went fastball, slider, fastball, slider, slider to finish him off. Jordan Romano and Danny Jansen on a nice groove here. They're on the same page. Haven't seen Romano shaking off at all. Danny Jansen's putting down what Romano wants to see.
Now the outstanding rookie for New York and Oswaldo Cabrera bats. Switch hitter on the left side. Takes a first pitch slider. Darts over for strike one. Yankees scored one in the first, added a solo home run by Connor Falefa in the second. A 2-0 Yankee lead. Evened up on a double by Teoscar Hernandez. The 0-1. Fastball just a shade outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera. Hernandez doubled home the pair in the 4th inning, and we've been tied since. Yankees threatened in the 6th, left a runner at 3rd in the 7th. The 1-1 fouled back under our feet. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cabrera. Cabrera is 1 for 3 tonight. Used his wheels to steal second, then stole third without a throw. And that's when Adam Simber brought this place to one of the loudest moments of the night when he got the comebacker. It's much louder now. Everybody rallies around Romano. And a 1-2 pitch. Down and in. This with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, Romano's feeling loose tonight. Second time we've seen him up to 99. He's got his heater.
Third reliever for the Blue Jays behind Simber, Garcia. And now Romano in the ninth with a 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? He did! Romano punches out the side in the ninth. The home ninth inning is next. 1 will get it done for Toronto. We're tied at 2. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ready for the next level? Looney Dogs Night. This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. You'll have the opportunity to power up and purchase $1 hot dogs from concession stands around the ballpark.
Hot dog! Get it right here. Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs here.
No Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs, so don't miss out on this hot dog of a deal. Looney Dogs Night presented by Schneider's, every Tuesday home game. For more info and tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Baseball is in full swing. Why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of MLB? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 milliliters. Must be legal drinking age. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
This game tip is brought to you by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Know someone that's a fan of the other team? Offer them some beef jerky. It might be the only time they feel like a winner today. Jack Link's. Feed your wild side, baseball fans.
There are no layups on this lineup. Every AB is a battle against this squad. The hits keep coming from the Blue Jays on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Joe Ali with you at Baseball Control in downtown Toronto. Jays Yankees tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Don't forget, Jays Talk follows after the final out. Blair and Barker will stick around, take your calls and text. 590-590 is a text line. Name and location, please. Blair will also throw out the numbers to call after the final out. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, O's at Red Sox. This game is resumed. Baltimore leads 6-2 at Fenway Park. Cedric Mullins with a home run and a 2-run triple. Jorge Mateo with an RBI double. Kyle Stowers with an RBI triple. And a final elsewhere, Braves beat up the Nationals for an 8-0 win. Let's get you back down to the Rogers Center on the other side of downtown Toronto. Here's Ben Wagner and Arden Zwelling with the call of tonight's game.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. We're coming to you tonight from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. What a ball game it has been. The Yankees score runs in the first and the second, take a 2-0 lead. The Blue Jays get a 2-run double that nearly was a grand slam. Just became an eyelash away from a round tripper for Teoscar Hernandez. Bo and Vladdy both come in to score. We've been 2-2 since the fourth. Now Clay Holmes comes aboard for New York. This pitching change brought to you by Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. Raimel Tapia, the left-handed batter, will lead it off against the big right-hander Holmes. And this pitch, fastball up and out, ball one. Clay Holmes has been a high leverage arm all season long for the New York Yankees.
He's been gettable of late, though. He's allowed runs in 4 of his last 6.
The pitch. Tapia takes a fastball outside, and it looks like it's running arm side with the heater from Holmes. Tapia's benefit, 2 balls and no strikes.
That's been the issue for him this month. You look at it, allowed a run in Milwaukee, walked 2. Gave up a homer in Pittsburgh a week ago.
The 2-0. Fastball over for a called strike. Tapia looked like he was taking all the way, kind of rolls his eyes as he watches that center cut fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Holmes was so automatic through late July, but it's been a bit of a skid through summer and early fall.
2-1, cracked in the middle of the diamond, down to a knee. Torres stops it, pops up, throws to first. In time, 4-3 on the bounce out. Danny Jansen, the batter. Blue Jays and Yankees tied 2-2. We're in the bottom of the ninth. Blue Jays have walked it off 5 times this season. Holmes peers in, the pitch. Jansen a check swing, takes the fastball over, called strike. The 0-1. Jansen takes inside. 98-mile-an-hour fastball unleashed by Holmes. If we go to the 10th, Anthony Bass will pitch for Toronto. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the ninth. The pitch is inside. Jansen dances out of the way.
Yeah, I wondered if we might see one of those Jordan Romano 4 or 5 out outings. I wondered if he might come back out through 18 pitches, striking out the side in the ninth. John Schneider's going to have Anthony Bass ready.
Rally caps are shaking for the Blue Jays on the far end of the third base dugout. The 2-1. Jansen hits it hard on a bounce. Speared on the backhand by Connor Falefa. Throws quickly to first in time. 2 down. Hard ground out by Tapia. Good contact from Danny Jansen. The Blue Jays just missing what Clay Holmes is offering tonight.
They're targeting Kiner Falefa as the right guy to hit it to. I'm telling you, Ben, watch the way he threw that ball. He was almost guiding it to first. Looks really uncertain of his arm at short right now.
Kevin Biggio will bat for Whit Merrifield. Blue Jays pull back the right-handed, hot-hitting Whit Merrifield for the lefty bat and Kevin Biggio. Biggio really doesn't have the hot bat right now, but they play the matchups. And the pitch to Kevin. Fastball in there for a called strike.
Yeah, John Schneider's showing a lot of faith in Kevin Biggio right now, considering his recent results for September. Biggio's hitting 146, getting on base at a 281 clip, 292 slug.
2 for his last 30 at the plate. The 0-1. Ground ball past the left side of the mound. Connor Falefa gobbles it up. Fires to first just in time. 1, 2, 3. The Blue Jays bounce out in the ninth. We're tied 2-2. This game is so good, we need more of it. To the 10th we go in a tie game at 2. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every All-Star, every slugger.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, One bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good. Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Looking for stories about Black culture, Black news, all Black everything? Then listen and subscribe to the podcast Beyond Black History Month. From influential newsmakers like Soledad O'Brien.
I try to use Twitter to explain this thing is not good, but let me explain to you why it's not good. And let's talk about what framing is.
To why Game of Thrones fans can believe in dragons, but not a Black Targaryen. Or Valerion, technically. Find Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
I'm Matt Spiegel, and I'm the host of the brand new podcast, Beat the Streak Daily. Every weekday this Major League season, I will update the state of Beat the Streak. The rules are simple. Each day, pick one or two players you think will get a hit. And if they do, your streak continues. Sounds doable, right? But so far, it's been impossible to win. And with millions of dollars on the line, no one has ever gotten to 56. Subscribe now to Beat the Streak Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, and play Beat the Streak for your chance to win $5.6 million.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
The baseball season is underway. Swung out and belted. Go!
Watch live baseball coverage on MLB Network with live games all season long and live look-ins, breakdowns, and analysis every night on MLB Tonight. And with MLB Network on your TV, tablet, and mobile device, you can catch the all-day action every day your way on MLB Network.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
How's your mental health? I'm Listening with Charlie Puth.
I just surround myself with my family. And if you don't really have a big family, just surround yourself with some of your closest friends. And it's pretty amazing how other people can lift one up just from their energy alone. Mental health in general is not to be looked down upon. It's a very serious thing. And it's important that your mind is healthy just as much as your body physically is healthy.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
This trip through the order, that's all that the Blue Jays bullpen has allowed. The bullpen has come to play tonight for the Blue Jays.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at the plate, takes low. Now it's swatted down by Danny Jansen. Quickly hustles after it. Slightly up the first base line. Gets it back to Bass. He's watching Oswaldo Cabrera. Aggressive base runner for New York.
And this is a relief corps that had been scuffling a little bit. They're on fumes out there. Feeling it at the end of this long season. Appearances getting up into that 50, 60, 70 range for some guys.
Fastball pumped over by Bass, and it's 1-1 on Kiner-Falefa. Running on E was evident through Philadelphia and the start of that series at Tropicana Field.
Mm-hmm.
Having to cover a ton of innings, too. The 1-1. Slider missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
69th appearance of the year for Anthony Bass right here. We mentioned Adam Simber leads the league with 73.
Blue Jays bullpen has had to pitch more innings than any other team in Major League Baseball. Their coverage. More teams than any other team in the game. Starters weren't really pushed early, so they knew that they were going to ask a lot of them early in the season. Fastball by Bass is low, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, remember those days? Shortened spring training, the lockout. Remember all that? That was this baseball season. Feels like eons ago. But that was within this season. We were different people.
Yes. Three balls, 1 strike. The pitch. That's high. A walk to Kiner-Falefa. That'll bring up Jose Trevino. Runners at first and second for the Yankee catcher.
Meeting on the mound here looked like it was initiated actually by the Blue Jays infield. Matt Chapman leading the charge. Danny Jansen came out. Now Pete Walker is going to be a little bit late to the meeting. He's going to come in with a message and just buy Anthony Bass a little bit of time. Go over the strategy, figure out what you want to do. Probably give him maybe a little early sneak peek of what to do if this thing gets to Judge, who's on deck. Tim Mays is starting to throw in the bullpen. The lefty Anthony Rizzo could be coming up a bit later.
Clark Schmidt standing by for New York. Top of the 10th inning here at Rogers Center. A 2-2 game. Cabrera the runner at second. Behind him, Kiner-Falefa. Jose Trevino's bounced into 5 double plays this season. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Blue Jays would love to see something on the ground. Fastball from Bass, a called strike 1. 34,307 at Rogers Center tonight. Opening game of 3 between New York and Toronto. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Way over the top of the slider. Fastball worked on the top part of the zone. Bottom and run with the slider from Bass.
Yeah, and great pace in between pitches there, too. Really didn't give Trevino much time to think. He was coming right back at him after that first pitch strike.
The 0-2. Cue shot foul into the on-deck circle where Aaron Judge has got it. No balls, 2 strikes. Judge and 60 home runs standing on deck. A leg lift and a look back at second.
Yeah, Cabrera's already stolen third in this game. Can't forget about him out there. A lot going on for Anthony Bass on the mound right now.
Go ahead run in scoring position. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Trevino down on strikes. And now John Schneider. Will he go righty on righty with Bass if Mesa is ready? Pete Walker down on the horn, chatting with Matt Bushman. Mesa's looking over at his pitching coach. Is this a moment where I'm going in or am I not? And John Schneider said, lefty, it's your turn. He pops out of the dugout on his way to the mound. The point has been made. A pitching change here in the 10th. A runner at first and second for New York. A 2-2 game with 2 down. And Tim Meza coming out of the Blue Jay bullpen to face Aaron Judge when we come back from Baseball Control and Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. This pitching change brought to you by Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. Before we get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, some more audio to listen to. As you know, today was Raptors Media Day. Here's Raptors President Masai Ujiri speaking with the media and discussing the special kind of player he believes sophomore Scotty Barnes might turn out to be.
He's like one of those players of the future or something. I don't know like how to describe him. Somebody came up to me yesterday. They told me Twitter was going crazy because we listed Scotty as a guard. Yeah, I don't know what position that guy plays. Yeah, who knows what position he plays? He's one of those guys that just plays basketball and is an incredible basketball player. But how dynamic he is, yeah, he's one of those players of the future I see. You know, can pass, basketball IQ, learn how to shoot. I think that'll come with time. Incredible teammate, incredible person, but just so dynamic on the court. Growing pains will come, you know, as usual. You saw playoffs, somebody that's committed to winning. I'm excited about his progress.
That is Raptors President Masai Ujiri speaking to the media. Quick check of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. O's at Red Sox. Boston scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Baltimore now leading 6-5. Rafael Devers with an RBI single to cap the big one. And elsewhere, a few finals. Pirates knock off the Reds 8-3. The Braves beat up the Nationals for an 8-0 final. That's the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Let's get you back down to the action at the Rogers Center on the other side of downtown Toronto. Here's Ben Wagner and Arden Zwelling with the call of tonight's game.
All right, thanks so much, Show Ali. The Blue Jays make the pitching change and bring in Tim Meza with the left-handed hitting Anthony Rizzo out on deck. Aaron Judge is scheduled to come up. Now, the Yankees have Oswaldo Cabrera at second, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa on at first. And you wonder if John Schneider in the back of his mind said, you know what? That guy's been pretty good with the average in pressure situations and the most pressure that any player has faced in the game in the last 2 decades, and he's performed in all of it. Do you walk Aaron Judge to load the bases and go lefty on lefty with Anthony Rizzo?
I'm pretty sure that's what John Schneider's going to do here. I would be quite surprised if he did not. I think that John Schneider is going to give Aaron Judge first base, take his chances with Anthony Rizzo.
4 fingers just were flashed by John Schneider. Judge steps out of the batter's box.
Mixed reaction from the crowd. Kind of interesting reaction.
The jury has spoken.
Look, if you're John Schneider, you're dealing with Aaron Judge, one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter with runners in scoring position this year. You got your lefty on the mound. You got Anthony Rizzo coming up. That's the matchup that you want. Don't let Aaron Judge beat you. Don't let the New York's best hitter beat you. Get the matchup you want. Meza v. Rizzo with 2 out, lefty on lefty. Trust that Tim Meza is going to do what Tim Meza does.
Pitch to Rizzo. A fastball at the knees, strike 1. The go-ahead run is at third base. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 10th. I was asking John Schneider about how effective Tim Meza has been once again out of his bullpen, and he said he is completely underrated. The 0-1. Bounced away foul. He's sprung on as that ball dribbled out in front of home plate. Rizzo fouled it off his body, and it's 0-2. Tim Meza has that sinker working again. He trusts it. It's turned into a lefty bowling ball.
Aaron Judge with runners in scoring position this season, hitting .356, .521 on base, .743 slug. Pretty easy to not pitch to that guy.
The bases are loaded now. The 0-2 pitch. Low. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Rizzo.
That's league-leading, major league-leading OBP with runners in scoring position. Second in slugging.
Bases loaded, tie game. Pitch grounded down to first. Vladdy down to a knee. He's got it. Stop sign from Asa. Runs it to first to retire the side. New York had him loaded. Nobody scores. 2-2 game to the bottom of the 10th. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ready for the next?
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Charlie Puth.
I just surround myself with my family. And if you don't really have a big family, just surround yourself with some of your closest friends. And it's pretty amazing how other people can lift one up just from their energy alone. Mental health in general is not to be looked down upon. It's a very serious thing, and it's important that your mind is healthy just as much as your body physically is healthy.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
Ball control in downtown Toronto. Jays Yankees tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning. Don't forget, Jays Talk follows after the final out. Blair and Barker will stick around. Take your calls and text. 590-590 is the text line. Name and location, please. Blair will also throw out the numbers to call after the final out on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Monday Night Football on right now. An NFC matchup between the Cowboys and Giants in New York. Finally, some scoring. The game is tied at 13. Saquon Barkley scoring a 36-yard TD run for New York. Dallas getting a 1-yard TD plunge from Ezekiel Elliott. That game now in the fourth quarter. And in baseball, Orioles at Red Sox. Boston scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the fourth. Baltimore leads 6-5. Let's get you back to the Rogers Center on the other side of downtown Toronto. Here is Ben Wagner and Arden Swelling with the call of tonight's game.
The Blue Jays and Yankees sit tied 2-2. It's the last of the 10th inning. The automatic runner into scoring position took a moment between frames stretching out, making sure those legs are good and loose with the winning run. Kevin Biggio, the automatic runner at second for George Springer in a moment that's made for the Toronto leadoff man. Springer's had a relatively quiet night after a red-hot road trip. The Yankees have struck him out twice and held him 0 for 4. Clark Schmidt comes aboard out of the bullpen for New York. This pitching change brought to you by Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. Five walk-off wins this season. Schmidt to Springer. Swing and miss, strike one.
And Biggio's a good guy to have as the zombie runner at second. Good instincts. He's quick. Good slider. Someone you want out there in this situation where you only need the one run.
Tied at 2 since the fourth. The 0-1. Springer tracks low. 96-mile-an-hour fastball was borderline. Springer's benefit to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I even see Biggio right now just sizing up where Judge is in the outfield, where Harrison Bader is positioned, where those guys are standing, what kind of a throw it would be for them on a fly ball. He's just accumulating that information.
1-1 is fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Springer. The Blue Jays have the top of the order with Springer, Bichette, and Guerrero here in the 10th. Lots of contact coming up. And another reason it's necessary for Kevin Biggio to keep surveying the defense. Judge is a couple of strides in and right field. He's got a good arm. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a slider way outside the zone. Springer's down on strikes. 1 away. Well, here comes Captain Contact lately in Bo Bichette. Another multiple hit game for Bo tonight. He's got a couple of singles and one of the 2 runs plated by the Blue Jays. He was the runner at third when Hernandez came oh so close to a grand slam. First of the 2 runs that scored on the dash to the plate. It tied the game, and we haven't moved since. Winning run for Toronto stands at second. Schmidt with a couple of peeks back. The pitch. Bichette hits it high in the air, out to deep right field. Judge running back at the wall. He leaps, and he makes the catch. Biggio played it halfway. He retreats back to second. Aaron Judge started a little shallow, went racing straight back to his right, left his feet leaping in the warning track, and came down with the baseball in the pocket of his glove. He keeps the game going when the Blue Jays were oh so close on the drive-by Bo from winning it.
Yeah, you think Aaron Judge only hits home runs? Nah, he does stuff like this too, tracking back over his left shoulder to rob Bo Bichette at the wall with this grab. Man, Aaron Judge made a nice play in right field there. It's more than just the homers, folks. He is impacting the game in all facets.
Time called. Jose Trevino out to chat with Clark Schmidt about the matchup with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. First base is open, and you've got a great contact hitter standing out on deck, and Alejandro Kirk. Rogers Center, for the first time, had its breath taken away on that great jumping grab by Judge. He is a tremendous athlete, a lot of time in right field over his career. He's been asked to play more center field this season because of his overall athleticism, and everything was on display there. Taking over with the break, the distance covered with those strides, and then using every bit of a stretch of a 6-7 frame to reel in what could have been the game winner. Yankees are going to throw to Vladdy. He's at the plate with 2 out in the 10th. The pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. The Blue Jays are going to win it. Biggio scores. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. delivers in the 10th. The Blue Jays race onto the field, celebrating a game winner. Pure elation at Rogers Center. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a line drive into left field. Absolutely no chance for Cabrera to make a play on Biggio. He scores, and the Blue Jays walk it off. 3-2 the final in 10.
Ben, that ball came off Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s bat at 117 miles per hour. That is scorched. And we have seen this kind of hard contact from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. all month, all season, all career. It's what he does. He hits the ball as hard as anyone in the game. The problem for him lately is that he had been hitting them into the ground. Ground balls after ground balls. Not this time. This one was a liner to left that ends this ball game and leaves Vladimir Guerrero Jr. running around the infield turf, pointing at the ground, saying, "This is our house."
The New York Yankees pondered the chance to throw to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a meeting on the mound. First it was the battery, then the coaching staff got involved. If there was a question, it was erased with an exclamation mark by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. A sizzling line drive to left field and a walk-off game winner for the Blue Jays. A moment embraced by every member of Toronto, streaking out onto the field of play, celebrating in between the mound and third base. The Blue Jays get their 6th walk-off win of the season. They defeat the New York Yankees, and an absolute grinder and a preview of postseason drama here in downtown Toronto.
117.3, that's the 3rd hardest ball Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has hit this season, Ben, and what a moment for it. Like you said, what a game. Tension throughout from the very first plate appearance with Aaron Judge coming to the plate trying to make history. There was tension in the air from that moment, and it just continued throughout a competitive contest at Rogers Center. I mean, it was emotional. It was tightly contested. There was intensity in it. It was everything that you want from a ball game at this time of year.
An absolute unbelievable ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, an all-timer for this young club, taking one big step towards October. The Blue Jays get the win with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s RBI base hit with 2 outs in the 10th. 3-2 is the final score. Lots of your interaction coming up. If you're walking out of the ballpark tonight, you're already in your car, trying to come down off the high of this one, live it with us. Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker, they'll have Jays Talk coming up in a couple of moments. Your phone calls, your texts, your tweets, we are open for business tonight from Rogers Center in a great way for the Blue Jays to start off this homestand with a walk-off win. 87-67, the Blue Jays are back over the 500 mark by 20 games again.
Magic number down to 3, by the way. We'll see what happens between the Orioles and Red Sox. They've resumed play after that rain delay. The Orioles are up by 3 runs in the top of the 5th. So if the Orioles hold that lead, the magic number would remain at 3. But the Blue Jays, what they did tonight was they prevented the New York Yankees from clinching the American League East on their home turf. I wonder if that was going through Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s mind as he was running around, pointing at that turf, saying, "This is our house. Not today, New York Yankees, not today."
The only one celebrating tonight in blue and white, the Toronto Blue Jays. A 10th inning, 2-out, RBI base hit from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Blue Jays win it 3-2, and a number of pivotal moments in this ball game, including John Schneider making the decision to issue the intentional pass to Aaron Judge to load the bases and eventually get out of the jam, going lefty on lefty with Tim Meza against Anthony Rizzo. So much to unpack. We'll get you the play of the game. We'll take you through the totals. And the guys, Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker, they will deliver it all coming up in just a couple of moments. For Austin Mackey, Show Ali, Tom Young, Arden Zwelling, I'm Ben Wagner. We'll continue our coverage from Rogers Center coming up in just a moment. Your final score, Blue Jays 3 and Yankees 2. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every All-Star, every slugger, every Gold Glover, speedster, or ace needs the right fuel to perform. Just like every bird needs the right feed to sing at their best. I'm Ben Wagner, and if you want to enjoy nature at its finest, Armstrong Bird Food has the perfect blend of seeds, suets, and treats to attract a wide variety of birds to your backyard. Now that's a performance to cheer about. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com for your nearest retailer. Armstrong Bird Food, feeding Blue Jays and other feathered friends since 1986.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikey's accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck. The movers who care.
Only a handful of first basemen are as graceful as Vladdy. Should we get the man in audition for Swan Lake? The Toronto Blue Jays play here on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
One tonight in downtown Toronto. Heart-pumping action from moment one when Aaron Judge dug into the batter's box on a night where Roger Maris Jr. was in the ballpark, but Judge sitting on 60 home runs and 1 away from a American League home run record. In the end, all the celebrating, all the plays, and the win to the Toronto Blue Jays in this winning edition of Blue Jays baseball here tonight. New York takes the setback. Their 7-game win streak comes to an end. New York is now 94-59 on the year. The Blue Jays are 20 games over the 500 mark at 87-67. Blue Jays get a 2-out RBI game-winning base hit from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the bottom of the 10th inning, win it 3-2. 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Blue Jays. At the plate tonight, Toronto goes 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position, 8 men left on base. The Yankees played 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors. At the plate tonight, 7 stranded and 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Tim Meza will pick up the win. He was the pitcher of record for the Blue Jays. He goes to 8-0 on the season. He pitched to Anthony Rizzo, got the one out that he was asked to get after the Blue Jays intentionally walked Aaron Judge to load the bases. This night started with Kevin Gausman spinning 6 1/3. He fired 2-run ball on 6 hits, struck out 7 and walked 1. Adam Simber, Jimmy Garcia, Jordan Romano struck out the side in the top of the 9th inning. Then Anthony Bass started the 10th, got 2/3 of the way through it. Tim Meza finished it up and moves to 8-0. Luis Severino went through the first 4. His innings were going to be limited because second start off of his lat issue off the injured list. Allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. He struck out 4, walked 3. Bullpen the rest of the way. 6 arms in all before Clark Schmidt lost the ball game and falls to 5-5 in this one at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays walk it off, a 3-2 win over the New York Yankees, opening up this 3-game series here at Rogers Center. Tomorrow night, we will join you across the network at 7 o'clock Eastern. Jamison Tyone against Jose Barrios, 7:07 first pitch, right here at Rogers Center with Game 2 of this 3-game series. Time now for our play of the game. It's being presented by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sports book with 63 million members worldwide. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. The New York Yankees were able to strike first. A leadoff base hit by Aaron Judge, doubled to third by Anthony Rizzo. A sacrifice fly from Gleyber Torres in the first inning made it 1-0. With 2 outs in the second, Kevin Gausman taken long for the 15th time this year. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, a surprising 4th home run of the year, had New York in front 2-0. In the home 4th inning is when the Blue Jays started their rally. Consecutive hits by Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladdy sniffing out an infield single, beat the play at first base, and the Blue Jays had runners on. Alejandro Kirk worked a walk, and with 1 out, Teoscar Hernandez came within an eyelash of a grand slam. The ball hit the very top of the wall and kicked back into play. Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., they scored racing to the plate, and we were tied 2-2. The score never moved. Sure, the Yankees had opportunities in the 6th and the 7th, including when Adam Simber watched Oswaldo Cabrera swipe 2 bags, but then Simber came into the ballgame, and he got a comebacker from Jose Trevino, and the Yankees left the go-ahead run at third base. The Blue Jays threatened New York in the 7th, but a runner left at second base, and then didn't have another opportunity with the runner in scoring position until the automatic runner was planted in extra innings at second base. Kevin Biggio was there as George Springer struck out. The Blue Jays came so close to winning it on a drive by Bo Bichette. Aaron Judge, who started shallow in right field, went racing back, leaping in the warning track, hauled in what would have been the game winner. And with 2 outs, Biggio was still at second base when the mound huddle resulted in the decision to pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the game on the line, the winning run at second, and Vladdy digging in. Yankees are going to throw to Vladdy. He's at the plate with 2 out in the 10th. The pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. The Blue Jays are going to win it. Biggio scores. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. delivers in the 10th. The Blue Jays race onto the field, celebrating a game winner.
You want to talk about a game that had it all? Ben, emotion, intensity, great pitching from both sides, and a clutch walk-off moment from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who comes up with his 3rd hardest hit ball of the season, 117.3 off the bat in a huge moment. Yankees do not clinch the AL East. Blue Jays lower their magic number to 3.
And a ball game that continues in Boston tonight between the Red Sox and the Orioles. It could be shaved down to 2 if Baltimore loses, but the Blue Jays go into Game 2 of their 3-game series tomorrow night against the New York Yankees. Arden, great job. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
See ya.
That's the co-host of At the Letters podcast, Arden Zwelling. I'm Ben Wagner. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. This was certainly one of the highlights of a season that has many already and maybe more to come on the horizon, the postseason, as the Blue Jays right now have a magic number of 3 after a walk-off win in 10 over the New York Yankees. Your final score, the New York Yankees 3 and the Toronto Blue Jays 2. For Austin Mackey, Tom Young, Shoal Lee, Arden Zwelling, I'm Ben Wagner. Now get involved with Jays Talk. It begins right now with Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker, and you.
All right, a note to the New York Yankees. Keep the champagne and ice for a little while longer, boys. The Blue Jays 3-2 winners over the New York Yankees. First of 3 games between these teams at the Rogers Center. Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker. It's Blue Jays Talk. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. 590 is the text line. And I want you to be honest with me about a couple of things. One, were you throwing stuff at the TV set when John Schneider intentionally walked Aaron Judge? I hope not. 2, did you jump up in excitement when Bo Bichette